uh, yeah, yeah. It's me, Jarrell the Dawn, baby. From the house of L to the house of hoes, got a little mission for you, son. Listen close. Yo, Cal, you my legacy, my flesh, my clone. Now go to Earth and make that planet your home. But don't just save them, breed them, feel me? Flying smooth, make them cry, oh really? You got strength of 10 men, game like Zeus. Cape in the wind in the tight blue suit. Ain't no villain that could block your aim, so why not drop seeds and lock the game? Son, this biology ain't no fluke. You a walking god, now execute. Make super babies, fill the charts. I ain't die for you to chase no heart. Smash them all, Cal, plant that name. From farm girls to queens, it's all the same. Be the daddy of earth, the prime L spawn. Spread house of L till the break of dawn. Breed them up, Cal, breed them fast. Legacy's fire, gotta make it last. Don't fight fate, be the stud I plan. I'm watching from stars with the master hand. Lex got tech, Bruce got cash, but you got genes that'll outlive Flash. You ain't here just to punch and fly. You here to make them babies cry. He my guy. Tell Lois Lane she the first in line, but don't act shy when it's overtime. I built the fortress, now make it a crib for 20 little supers in a rocket ship fridge. You ain't just Cal, you the seed of fate. Gotta repopulate, dominate, create. Go on, my son, be the myth, the man. Smash them respectfully, that's the plan. Smash them all, Cal, plant that name. From farm girls to queens, it's all the same. Be the daddy of earth, the prime L spawn. Spread house of L till the break of dawn. Breed them up, Cal, breed them fast. Legacy's fire, gotta make it last. Don't fight fate, be the stud I plan. I'm watching from stars with the master hand. House of L, baby. From Krypton's ashes to Earth's backseat.
Damn.
For your daddy in the multiverse.
Damn. Bars. And that is AI, yeah. So we're cooked. Did you enjoy that? Did it make you feel something? We're cooked. It's AI. Yeah. Oh well. You know, we had a good run. Human beings, humanity. And at the end of the day, you know, we'll still have plenty of fun. You know? But yeah, that's where we're at. And also too, that was created by Bounding into Comics. What a wild time to be alive. What a wild time to be alive. And you know what? I think they're obviously trying to you know, make fun of the movie a little bit or whatever, dog it for that whole plot line and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it kind of slaps. Kind of slaps. I'm kind of into it. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing, chat? What's up? How's the week treating you? You guys ready for a big one? Oh, man. We got a lot to get into today. A lot to get into today. Is the music loud again? Is it doing that stupid shit? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know why it does that, you know? So was it like super loud for the intro as well? Ah, shit. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Needed to remind us we aren't in the hood. True. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's tough. But looking like Clark Kent a little bit. It's curly deck. We're let it go a little wild. The curls. You guys like the hair like this? You guys are crazy. I never know what's going on with you guys. I'll take a lot of time and I'll try to get my hair looking good, and then everyone will be like, "It looks like shit," and I'll just not care at all, and everyone's like, "Dude, fire." Oh, yeah, great. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. I don't even care. I'm going to shave it all off now, just to spite you. Because the Nerdvengers in the hood is always hard. Dude, I liked that song quite a bit, man. I was like, damn, this is funny. And then they did like a little intro on it, and then they like completed it recently. So anyways, guys, we're going to get into this slow. We're going to ease into this slow. There's a lot to get into, man. I got like 2 or 3 pages of notes. My God, there's a lot to get into today. And in about an hour, the Mortal Kombat trailer comes out. So we'll save the Mortal Kombat conversation for then. About an hour, Mortal Kombat trailer. Hell yeah. We're going to check that out. I'm excited. I don't know if it's going to be a 5-hour stream, but it's going to be a good one. Should be good, lengthy and all that. Have you seen YouTube's new top fan feature? I think so, yeah. Isn't that what is going on in the chat right now? 34 months. Holy cow. Much love to this community. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to take our time, though. We're easing into it. I want to finish this coffee. I want to have a little tasty Pellegrino. And we'll ease into it. Been here longer than 21 months, but man, it goes by fast. Thank you, Josh. Your sweat, love, and hot passion of this community and never taking days off. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks, man. Is Pedro ruining the F4 box office? No, I don't think so. I think a lot of people really like Pedro. I admit that he is a little overexposed right now, though. He's had so many big projects. It is a little crazy. But, no. I did see the Stranger Things trailer. What did you guys think of it? Did you guys like it? I saw a lot of people being kind of mean about the trailer. I thought it was good. I thought the Stranger Things trailer looked cool. I mean, what is it, like 9 years for how many seasons or something? Like, it is pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a little wild in that sense, but have Theory had more talks about the Nerd Theory pod? No, not really. I mean, I think he's pretty busy right now. You know, he's traveling a lot, doing his thing. I have a shit ton of stuff going on, man. It's just, I don't know. It's tough right now. But the last time we talked about it, you know, I said I was down, but I did say I needed more time, and he said he understood. So I'm kind of tentatively in my mind. Look, I'm thinking maybe when we get a little closer to like actual Star Wars stuff happening, we get back on there. What is the plan for the next CinemaCon stream? I don't know what you mean. Is there like there's a big Warhammer thing tomorrow. A big summer announcement. They're gonna announce all sorts of stuff for Warhammer tomorrow. Is that what you mean? Should we make that the focus of tomorrow's stream? You tell me. Chelsea FC are champs of the world. What the hell is that? Just want to make you say it out loud. Thanks for being amazing and funny every day, brother. Cheers to the fam. Hey, appreciate you, man. I don't know what that is. What is that? Chelsea? Who's Chelsea? What did she do? I was at that game. Oh shit. What game? Mortal Kombat 2 trailer will drop. Yeah, at noon. Soccer? Soccer? We're talking about soccer? Wait a minute. So you guys getting butthurt about me bringing up Warhammer, but we're talking about soccer in here? DJ CC Ride says, get a haircut, hippie. I'll have you know I had a haircut recently. As a Zelda lover, I love today's episode. Yeah, I'm excited about Zelda. I think they done good, man. I think they done good with those picks. And I also think, you know, there's some really encouraging stuff coming out of the Zelda thing. You never know for sure. Plenty of reason to be afraid. But yeah. Trim up that poof. What the fuck? What is happening in here? Warhammer of Baravia. Oh, shit. Did you watch Shane Gillis's monologue last night? I saw some of the clips. I thought it was pretty good. Which one? Somebody said he did a Norm Macdonald bit. Which one was that? Or should I even ask? But I used to love Norm. Let's watch. Nah, we're good, bro. Is Marvel participating in Comic-Con this year? So everybody's participating in Comic-Con, but a lot of people pulled out of Hall H. So Marvel and Marvel Studios are going to have a big presence at Comic-Con, but they're not going to do the Hall H presentation thing that they've done in a lot of years past. So we won't have a Saturday stream. Ironically, Mortal Kombat's going to be at Hall H. I think even Papa George Lucas is going to be at Hall H, but a lot of the major studios pulled out. Rossi says everything greater than soccer, 100%. I mean, yep. Josh, when is the 60K 2-year-old comic book coming out? Are you talking? I don't know what the fuck are you talking about? Bro, I can't believe they made Zelda a girl. Yes, I know. That is pretty woke. I can't believe it either. The Truders says new data, as James Mackwell reported, Nick Fury was filming Avengers DD, and then Perez reported the same thing later. Yeah, I actually do want to talk about that. I think I have that in my notes. If not, I'll write it down here. Nick Fury scene, and we'll say James Mack, because there's two elements there. There's the info, and then there's the fact that like Alex confirmed it as well. Kind of interesting. Unity? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, dude. First of all, it's not a $60,000 comic. We raised more like $90,000. First of all, let's put some respect on our name. Second of all, yeah, man, like we're obviously delayed, and there's stuff that's going badly, but there's a plan to figure it out. So yeah, it's gonna be coming out. I hope that it ships by the end of the year. If it's not the end of the year, it'll be early next year. And the main goal is to make sure we don't have a similar delay next time. So we've kind of already replaced the whole team on the book, and we're in a weird spot where we're building art for like the last bit of the book, but I still need the other team to finish their work first. So it's a complicated, clusterfuck of a situation, but yeah, it should be resolved. I don't know. You know what I was thinking about the other day? On a side note here, right? Because I was thinking the other day, so it's July 17th, right? We're basically just over halfway through the year. But it doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like this 7 months has been like a decade. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if anybody else has that same feeling. Maybe it's just like having my daughter like at the very start of the year or whatever. But, dude, it has felt like a decade-long half year. Like, I cannot believe we have another half of a year to go through. Kind of crazy in this year, but will Marvel have Hall H in 2026? It's hard to say. I mean, there's some rumors that maybe they want to do their own thing, take it in a different direction. Those rumors have persisted for a while. It's like maybe they want to do it at D23 or do it in a place that's more controlled. I don't know. I always thought Feige would be like, he understood how important Comic-Con was, and he was always going to kind of keep it as a crown jewel of the system. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Do you think Anthony Mackie, Captain America, and Pedro Reed will have conflict about leading the Avengers? Thanks for being awesome, Josh. Oh, appreciate it. Do I think they'll have a conflict about leading the Avengers? Yes and no. I mean, I think the way I'm kind of reading the rumors and the speculation is Pedro's Reed's going to come in and he's going to know some shit, right? Like, he's legitimately going to know more than a lot of the other characters. So him being the driving force of a lot of their decisions completely makes sense for me. I don't know if that technically means he's in charge of the teams. Like, we'll get into that too. That's actually a part of a segment that I have scheduled. But yeah, that whole situation's weird because, like, I felt like people took it a little out of context. I I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Reed. He is the outside consultant. Yeah, so you know what I was thinking about? And maybe you can help answer this, Trev. I cannot actually remember a moment where Reed was actually in charge of the Avengers. He's obviously a big part of the Illuminati, and therefore can have some kind of say over what the Avengers do in some big situations. But I cannot actually remember a single time that he's legitimately been in charge of the Avengers. And the reason I bring that up is because the way Shackman said it yesterday, like a lot of people were like, oh, he's talking about the comics. And I was like, I don't know if he is, because that doesn't even happen in the comics. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's probably something we shouldn't take too seriously, just in general. He was just paraphrasing and trying to make a point. And we're all like, he's referring to this comic, or like, he's referring to Pedro in these next two films and shit. And it's like, nah, he's probably just talking about the character. Let's go. Like, this is my Batman. Let's go. What are you talking about? I feel like I'm missing some context there. What about Batman? Shine just posted news on Hugh Jackman Wolverine just now that Hugh isn't retiring anytime soon because he is in the next Deadpool movie. Yeah. I mean, that's not news, but okay. Like, you know, like they've been saying that shit for since Deadpool Wolverine came out. Like, yeah, we know. Like, till he's 90. Come on. That's not news, man. Yeah. But I think the Scoopers have gotten into a place where they just need to repeat and recite. What the hell? I feel like a bird just flew into the door. Or maybe it's like storming out there. Dude, that's crazy. Something crazy just happened outside. I feel like a wild bird, or maybe it was a drone. Maybe it's Gunn. James! Anyway, maybe it's your glasses. Totally. 100%. Genuinely appreciate that you're fair. Love. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I try to adhere to a certain code or whatnot. I try to be fair about all this kind of shit, you know? It's an interesting gig. Zach says, talk about Superman picture with the flood. Oh, we will. Is that what you were referring to earlier? We're going to. Everybody just relax. I'm trying to ease into this shit. You know? I got 2 pages of notes. Talk about Zelda now? Jeez. Quite a great conversation we've been having here today, huh, chat? Whole bunch of shut up and dribble in the fucking chat today, huh? Holy! How you guys doing? Talk about Zelda now! What do you think about Pedro? Holy! Okay. I love the Superman movie. What comic books do you think have an opportunity to rise in value for DC? That's kind of an interesting question, you know? So I think Gunn has talked about a myriad of Superman books that were kind of like an influence on the story, like All-Star, maybe some Silver Age stuff. I don't really know, but I feel like this Superman is pretty unique. There's flavors, like you could see flavor of even like New 52. Definitely some All-Star stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would say Woman of Tomorrow feels like a much more direct adaptation. So that whole Supergirl run, I feel very strongly that run is going to be adapted for that film. Lanterns, hard to say, man. You know, he hasn't really given us like a full answer on Lanterns, but I would imagine just in general, the big Lantern events books, probably big. Lobo's a good, you know, one. Yeah, I would say Grant Morrison Batman, because it kind of seems like they're still doing that one way or the other. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. Roman Reigns as Ganon. All right. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, baby. Josh, has your adventure into Warhammer distracted you from Unity? No, that's not what's going on with Unity. All right, I have to go see what's going on outside. Hang on a second, guys. I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back. I got to fix this. Okay, we're good. We're good. I figured it out. No. It's not Ghost. The door, I had the door like, what do you call it? Where you like keep it open or whatever. And apparently it's just storming out there, starting to get stormy, the wind and all that. And it's just messing with the door. So we're good. Kevin Hart as Ganon, I'm down. Let's go. Ajar. Look at all these motherfuckers, so sophisticated. Look at y'all. The door's ajar, Josh. Don't you know? Well, you're at it. Would you shut up and talk about Zelda now? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, all you pinky out, clove smoking motherfuckers. The door's simply ajar, Josh. Didn't you realize? Do you stream in a barn? I probably should. Can you explain that? Can you explain the difference, ages of Superman, what they mean, and the differences? I could TLDR for you. So the Silver Age Superman, or I guess, yeah, Silver Age Superman is more like in certain stories, he didn't even fly. He just leapt over tall buildings. The Silver Age, think of Silver Age as like, now look here, see, Superman. He kind of starts off even helping out the working class against the big Hollywood bank or the big Wall Street bankers and shit like that. Really derivative, really, just old Superman, like what you would think. Yeah, Golden Age, like I said, Trev, that's the Golden Age Superman. Silver Age is when he transitions a little bit into becoming a little bit more of like the modern interpretation of Superman. That's where you get things like the kryptonite. That's where you get things like the more like advanced of his stories. A lot of John Byrne stuff in the 80s. And then I guess you'd have Modern Age, which would be like, I guess actually technically Byrne would probably be the Modern Age. So you probably got like the 50s and 60s is golden. 70s into 80s is probably considered silver. And then probably into the 80s, like, because this was when like Neil Adams and some of these other people were coming in to do a more serious version of these characters. Like that's in the Silver Age era where they take it into a more mature place. So yeah, godlike Superman, totally. But to be honest with you, like, that's a good question. I don't even know if that's right what I said, but that's like my basic understanding of it. Anyone remember when Gunn told Gal Gadot, "Don't worry, she'll be fine," and they ended up firing her? Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Mortal Kombat is live and revealing characters. That's cool, but I don't think the trailer drops till noon, so we're not gonna do an hour of Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited for Mortal Kombat, but I'm not gonna do an hour of Mortal Kombat leading up to the trailer. You know what I mean? We're not gonna do that. Ooh, there is actually something I need to do before we get into all the news here. That's probably good there. Yeah. Need those. Yeah, delete those. Delete those. Gotta make more room on the compy. Ba-ba-ba-bum, 'Cause Sent Avatar 3 trailer on Discord General. Is it the leaked one? I mean, I think the real trailer's coming out really soon. We could probably just wait for that, especially on the stream. You know what I mean? In the Discord, you can do what you want. This channel is glorified repost, totally, man. But it's crazy how many people like it. You know. By the way, you're banned forever. Fuck off. They're doing what Marvel did with Doomsday. Pretty much a character reveal every 3 to 4 minutes. Really? They're doing a chair thing? I don't think that's the move. I don't think that's the move. But what do I know? What do I know? All right, should we get into it? Should we begin speaking on all these things that are going on? Guys, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. I don't even know what to do about it. I don't even know what to do about it. Maybe we should not cover any of this and just talk about Warhammer instead. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, this is an intimidating amount of shit. As I go over this, I start to get anxiety. I feel like I have a migraine and I need a haircut. I don't know. You know, one of these days, I'm going to do a real ass poll. Should we not do anything we said we were going to do and instead make it a whole Warhammer stream? And if we win, whoo, we're going to do it. How can I ask you to show a video? You can ask me just like that, and I'm going to be like, nope. Appreciate it, though. Let's begin. So, first question for you guys. How are y'all feeling about Superman? Like, how y'all feeling about Superman? How y'all feeling about DC? We've been talking about this for several days now, and I would imagine at this point, you know, you guys have kind of settled into different camps about it, you know? It really does seem like there's a good bit of people that are incredibly excited about it, that think it's doing really, really well, and, you know, are, let's go, DCU, like, all the way. And then it seems like there's a ton of people that are not on board, don't like it getting the shine, and are trying to point out that it's actually not performing as well as you would think. And this takes us into a really interesting situation. You know, I think the reality of the situation here is, like, both sides are actually right. Like, if you look at the box office here, and there was a really weird thing that happened yesterday. And, you know, look, what the, of course, this would happen when covering James Gunn Superman. And you know what? Fuck it. Because I'm here for the ride. We're along for the ride. This is what we do, baby. So let's just make the donuts. But yesterday, some website, I believe it was IMDb, randomly generated an extra $55 million internationally and threw it onto the Superman total box office take. Okay? And this happened, and a whole bunch of people that do zero fucking research, and I'm talking about y'all won't even go past the headline, started retweeting it, talking about it, posting it all over the place, and being like, oh my fucking God, this movie's gonna go over 500 this weekend, and shit like that, okay? So that was fake. And yet there are a lot of people running with those numbers for some weird reason. It's like, it's wild, man. We've really entered a, I don't know, you know, like we all just have our own version of the truth, I guess. But as far as I'm concerned, those numbers are not real. And I'll be paying attention to the actual box office for the film. And although it had an incredible Tuesday and a pretty good Monday, the movie is still tracking not that great, frankly. And I know there's debate about this, and we will see, right? We're going to find out in the next couple of weeks. But from where I'm standing right now, the thing's not tracking amazingly. And so what that has created is a situation where there's a whole bunch of people that are going to look at the numbers and say, not good enough, and they need to stop, and Gunn failed, and all this other stuff. And then you're going to have a whole bunch of other people that are saying, no, the numbers are actually incredible. They're going to keep going. This is a big win. This is crushing it. I don't know how to tell you the truth, especially to those people that are really dug in on those individual camps. But the reality is, as I said at the top of this segment, you're both right. Like, they're going to continue with this shit. Zaslav tripled down the other day. Like, they're just all in on it. And I'm going to talk about a big article that was in the Hollywood Trades that sort of speaks to some of this. We'll talk about the numbers. We'll talk about what Zaslav did, what his peers think of what he did. But make no mistake, Zazzy has said, we're all in on this shit. I don't know what else to tell you. This thing could barely make over $400 million. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it will get to 5. But this thing could barely make over 400, and they're still continuing it. Okay? And so, you know, yeah, I saw Campia did a video on this. People were flaming Campia's take online. He's right. Okay? His take is a correct one. And so you can see how, like, this current situation is so annoying because it feels like two different camps are trying to tell two different stories. And they're both kind of lying about it. Like, the reality of it is, this thing is doing good enough. 100%, that's the phrase. Good enough. Is it crushing? I don't really think so. Is it doing pretty good? Yeah, sure. You could say it's doing pretty good. But the more important thing, because the only reason people in this situation are so fixated on these numbers is because I think they really want to either justify the continuation or say it should not continue based on the numbers. And I'm just telling you right now, and I tried to say this 2 weeks ago. Remember when I actually thought I was going to do NNR again? What was this, like a month ago? I did one episode of NNR. I fucking hated it. It got no views. We shot it in here. It was a big mistake. And yet, a bunch of Snyder bros clipped out a section from that thing that nobody saw. And within that thing, I had said, yeah, this thing does not actually need to make money. And I was right then, and I'm right now. You might not like it. I don't give a fuck, and neither does Warner Brothers. Another data point that nobody's talking about, and I shouldn't say nobody because some people are actually bringing this up. But the other thing that, like, Snyder bros are not willing to acknowledge is that the stock price is up. Warner Brothers itself has gotten shit on for years. Its stock price has taken an absolute fucking beating. And ever since Superman came out, stock price is up. Okay? And why would the stock price, why would the most intelligent market maker motherfuckers like the Wall Street people that, like, why would they think that? Because they clearly see the value. They clearly see the value. Look, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm getting a little too upset. But it is fucking annoying because it feels like there's these two camps that just, they can't seem to agree on it. The reality of the situation is this. Considering where the industry's at, good enough is the company line. And they're going to continue. And you can bring, look, if you want to, of course, you can bring up whatever the final box office is. It didn't make as much as Zach's, blah, 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 blah. They're going to continue, guys. They're rolling. And on top of that, we actually have information about how they're rolling, what's coming next. And let me just say, too, I'm happy. I'm happy that they're rolling. Man, I haven't been as interested in DC and, like, as willing to check DC stuff out in years. I watched last night the Judas Contract. Animated movie about the Teen Titans. Incredible. Loved it. And I have not personally been wanting to watch DC stuff like that in a long, long time, guys. So part of what Warner Brothers is seeing, part of what Wall Street is seeing, is if you build this thing, there's a lot of value that can come in the future. It's a play for the future of DC. And they are locked the fuck in on that, okay? So you can complain about it, or you can listen and just understand what's going to happen, okay? So here we go. I'm over on Variety here. A new day for DC, breaking down Superman salaries, budgets, and more as studio fast-tracks Wonder Woman. And it's featured, this is by Tatiana Siegel. She was the lady that broke that huge article that really embarrassed Marvel Studios a couple of years ago, talking about bringing all the OGs back, talking about how they reworked Daredevil Born Again, talking about a lot of stuff. We went over that. It's a good reporter, okay? So, here, let me make this a little larger in the actual text here so we can get into this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's some stuff she gets into here that I'm not that interested in. However, I think the way she couches it, the way she starts it, it's pretty telling. Ahead of the world premiere of James Gunn's Superman on July 7th, DC Studios co-chief Peter Safran took the stage to thank the most important person seated in the audience. I wasn't there, guys, so it's not me. Warner Bros. Discovery president, CEO David Zaslav. Yeah, he is the most important person in the audience. And they thanked him for your faith and trust in James and me to make this movie to kickstart this new era of DC. In fact, there were only a few echoes of DC past inside the TCL Chinese IMAX theater, including Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in the long-running series Smallville, Will Reeves, the son of the late Christopher Reeve, and thus ambassador to the Richard Donner Superman O'Vear. Otherwise, the night stood as the dawn of a new beginning for the film franchise that has earned $16.8 billion over 58 films in the box office. That's DC, but has been eclipsed in recent years by the crosstown rival Marvel. But did Gunn, who took the reins in DC with Safran in 2022 and also wrote and produced the film, pull off a franchise jump start? The refrain heard on the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank and around Hollywood was good enough. That's what it is, guys. Like, we could probably stop right now and you would know pretty much what's going on, but we'll get into the details, okay? Accompanied by a sigh of relief that Gunn's movie lifted off to $220 million worldwide, ushering in a 10-year vision for DC. Now, why are they breathing a sigh of relief? And I get it. A lot of people are like, but he's still not beating Man of Steel. Totally get it. This movie has already outgrossed the complete run. I'm talking the worldwide total box office run of the 5 lowest DCEU projects. This Superman has already outgrossed the 5 lowest movies in the catalog, and it hasn't even gotten to weekend 2. That's why they're breathing a sigh of relief. There was some serious concern over there that it was cooked. Okay? Like, oh my God, we're cooked. Because the industry's down, people don't care about these characters, there's too much brand damage, the genre's been hurt, etc., etc. So again, good enough and a sigh of relief. That's a low bar. You're not wrong. I'm telling you what the people in Hollywood are saying, dude. Like, it's fine. You can sit back and be like, that's silly. I'm telling you what they are saying. Zaslav took a victory lap before the ink was dry on the weekend's box office numbers. We talked about this, right? Then he doubled down the following day, calling the performance soaring, just the first step. But his posture struck many in town as odd and premature, given that the CEO rarely weighs in on public publicity about the film's opening weekend. Okay? Domestically, Superman stuck the landing, but international numbers are disappointing, says box office analyst Jeff Bach of Exhibitor Relations of the $95 million overseas haul. For Superman to be one of the biggest summer blockbusters, not to mention reset of an entire universe, the film needed to pack more punch in its debut. Obviously, the following weeks will tell the true box office tale, but this has to be viewed as slightly underwhelming start for DC and for Warner Bros. So, are we able to process all of this together? Can you hold multiple ideas inside your brain parts at the same time? So, Zaslav is all in. He took a victory lap before the ink was dry on the numbers, and then he doubled down on it the following day. People in Hollywood are a little surprised at this. They view it as a underwhelming start, and that's why they're surprised about it. Okay? So, like, does this make sense to you? Like, so there's a whole bunch of people in Hollywood that are like, I don't know about this, but the most important person, the person that's literally making these calls, he's all in. Okay? Now let's keep going here. More importantly, Wall Street is feeling good about the bow. Warner Bros. Discovery stock jumped 2.4% from 11.73 the close of July 11th to 12.01 by the end of day on July 4th. Wall Street analyst Dave Ives of Wedbush Securities calls the film's performance very impressive domestically and a huge boost for the franchise given some worries coming in. He adds, the international is a mixed, but overall an A- weekend for Superman. So, real quick, I mean, this is obviously what's going on. International, super soft. Not really sure what's going on there. They absolutely need to address that. The DCU overall needs more international appeal. A lot of people think it might be just because Superman is so American, right? So as they keep going here, it says, and one top agent says he can understand how a little cowing from Zaslav, considering the press treated him like the village idiot / punching bag for so long. You can't blame a guy for grabbing onto any piece of good news for him, says an agent. The film cost $225 million and another $125 million to market globally. By the way, this number keeps changing. This very same outlet, Variety, reported it as $100 million last week, and I believe later in the day they adjusted this to $150. So there's 3 different numbers actually from Variety on what the marketing is. John Campea reported the marketing budget was $200 million plus, and that it was the biggest marketing budget a movie had maybe ever seen. Okay. Anyway. Globally, the latter, including pricey stunts like Superman figure hovering at the apex of London's tallest building, the Shard, on July 1st. The rival studio estimated that the Shard Gambit alone cost 7 figures. So they did a lot of crazy marketing. Typically, okay, so then they talk about the, all that sort of stuff. Yes, Zack Snyder's movie is making more at this point. Blah, blah, blah. They're getting into a bunch of stuff. The most important thing you need to know, and they do talk about, actually, let's do the Wonder Woman thing before we move on here. Burbank's I Relief, 10-year vision, box office, domestically. Oh, yeah, Gunn gave himself $15 million. That's a little crazy. Also, though, game is game. I mean, if I was giving myself a job, I'd try to get myself 15 mil at least. So, game is game. I'm not even gonna get butthurt about that. Where's the stuff about Wonder Woman, man? Look, I'm not sure where the fuck it is in here, but somewhere in here they do talk about Wonder Woman and how they're fast-tracking it. Oh, here we go. Instead, sources say the studio is fast-tracking a Wonder Woman movie instead of a direct sequel to Superman, by the way. Studio is thrilled with Matt Reeves' just submitted screenplay, the draft for the sequel to The Batman. Okay, so we got the basics there. Let me, what the hell? Okay, so let's go through it again, just so you know what's going on. Just so you know what's going on, chat, okay? Good enough is the company line. That is what Zaslav is saying. That is what Warner Brothers is sticking to. James Gunn yesterday released the first look at Supergirl. The poster, with the spray paint, the bloody hand. Maybe it's spray paint hand. We'll see. And so they're going full steam ahead. Now, according to Tatiana here, there is some pushback in the town. The town doesn't necessarily get it, but it doesn't matter. The town doesn't control Zaslav, obviously. Zaslav's all in. They are fast-tracking a Wonder Woman movie. Now, this is actually kind of interesting. Okay, this is actually kind of interesting to me. I believe this probably speaks to the fact that they're not going to do 2 Batman at once. It is possible that Matt Reeves' The Batman is the DCU Batman. But even still, it doesn't feel like the second movie is, really directly connected to this. And I want to show you something in a second. We'll get into more Batman stuff in a second here, because there's an Easter egg in Superman that people found that's really crazy, okay? So, they're fast-tracking Wonder Woman. They need bigger characters. Remember, Zaslav said this in his Double Down. Before Gunn even said it, Zaslav said it. Kind of means, Zaslav's like, no, you're going for big characters. Totally makes sense. So you have Supergirl, Clayface, and Lanterns. Okay? I'm really not feeling super confident about that lineup. I think Wonder Woman helps that lineup a lot. I think the Batman Part 2 will do numbers and will help DC. If they can work it out so that Batman is in the DCU, then they're off to the races. If not, which it's kind of seeming like maybe it's not, they need to cook with their Batman as fast as possible. So they need to get Matt's movie out. I think Wonder Woman coming into the picture could save them a little time. And then they need Batman, they need Justice League, they need World's Finest, they need big as fast as possible. But that's the news out there. They're very happy with Batman's 2 script. They're fast-tracking Wonder Woman. They're not doing a Superman sequel, which is interesting, but I think that's probably the move. I mean, especially you look at these international markets, right? If I were them, I might just be like, Superman is not going to work on his own. he might work better in other movies. And then you start tying the Justice League together and all that sort of stuff, right? We shall see. But that's the basic plan, and that's the fact that they've doubled down, right? So Zaslav has made, like, I think 3 statements at this point. Gunn is talking out there a lot this week, right? They're doing a lot of press. This is Tatiana Siegel, incredible reporter for the Hollywood Trades, dropping some knowledge here. Good enough. Industry pushback. Zaslav doesn't care. Wonder Woman movie being fast-tracked. Batman Part 2 is dope. That's the updates. What do you guys think about that? What do you think? What do you think of that? We can get into it a little bit, and then I want to talk about Batman in more specificity. Any chance Pattinson joins the DCU? Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second here, brother, but I think there's still a chance. I think there's still a chance. Update your Spotify, please. I'm not doing anything else on Spotify, brother. I'm sorry. I'm not doing anything else on podcast feeds. This show lives here. There are clips on the Clips channel, but that's what we're doing now. Personally, want an older Batman to get to the Bat family. Yeah, I agree. I think they got to do like a time jump thing. I don't know. It's weird. You know, honestly, man, I've been really hesitant to say that they could just let Matt Reeves' Batman exist and then do their own, but they might be able to pull it off. Like, if Wonder Woman saves them enough time, and maybe they bring in some other characters, because, like, you could do a lot of different characters from Wonder Woman. What if Wonder Woman's fighting against, like, Ra's al Ghul? You know, I don't know. But they might be able to pull it off. It might work. Leave Pattinson as Elseworlds? Hey, look, that might be what they do. I don't know. I think possibly why it took so long for the script for Batman 2 is because they wrote 2 scripts. Nah, I don't think so, bro. I mean, I understand where your head's at, but that's not... There's no reports that support that. Reacher for Steve Rogers? What? Hey, do you think we will still get Pattinson in the DC? Guys, didn't I say that's the next segment? Does anybody have any questions about what we just went over? Or should I just get into the Batman shit? Is it just time? Is it just Batman time? Like, I was literally like, hey, we're going to talk about Batman in a second. Got any questions about this shit? Yo, what about Batman, though? Hey, yo, what about Batman, though? Okay, let's talk about Batman. Why are you so hostile, bro? I mean, look, man. The instinct in me is to be, like, super hostile towards that question. Okay, but I'm not going to be. And I'm just going to explain it to you like this. This job requires that I be hostile. Every day, this chat will try to break me. Every day. Okay? So, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, here we go. Let's talk Batman. Okay, so Batman. Damn, does DC need the Batman? I got to tell you, right now, as it stands, the Batman Part 1 is, it looks like it's going to end up making more money than Superman. That's not necessarily a surprise. Most DC fans would tell you Batman outsells Superman pretty much consistently. That makes sense. He's got a lot more international appeal. It's kind of funny, man, for as much as Superman might not want to hear it, people tend to prefer the more cutthroat, bloodthirsty billionaires as opposed to these farm boy Scouts, lucky-go-lucky motherfuckers, man. I mean, it just is what it is. We want our billionaires. Hell yeah. Okay, anyway, point is, Batman's really popular. DC, Superman, doing fine. Not necessarily setting the world on fire. And I think if you're Zaslav, if you're Warner Brothers, you're thinking, more. How do we get more? How do we get more money? How do we get people to be more excited about the DCU? Batman's the obvious answer, okay? There were reports 2 years ago, which James Gunn debunked, even though we found out they were real. Is that that knucklehead James, you know? There were reports years ago in the Hollywood trades that Gunn wanted Pattinson as the DCU Batman. In fact, he had approached Matt about it, and Matt basically said, no way, fam. No way. However, there were a lot of other rumors that persisted for those years, and it seemed like maybe there was something happening there. You know, Matt would, like, give a little bit more weird answers. Gunn would continue to say, like, never say never and shit like that in interviews. On top of that, a lot of other insiders have reported about this. Jeff Snyder had a good bit about this. Grace Randolph has talked about this. A lot of people think that Pattinson has a serious chance of still being the DCU Batman. Well, check this out. It's on the screen right here for you. It says over here in the corner, major floods causes suffering. Okay, and this is on the news during the kaiju fight. And the thing that's kind of wild about that is there's not any flooding in the Superman movie. There is flooding, though, in the Batman Part 1. Okay? On top of that, later on in the film, there's a scene on the bridge when people are trying to evacuate, and you can see one of the exits goes towards Gotham. Okay? Kind of interesting. On top of that, I think it's track number 7 on the soundtrack. You guys double check me on this. Track number 7, it's the scene in which the crazy president of Bileklavoc or whatever, says his little statement and goes into his room, and then he meets in the portal. He goes in the portal. The music there is so clearly the Batman. It feels like it's very similar to the theme. And a lot of folks, when that track first leaked, thought, oh, shit, I wonder if they're going to have something Gotham, something Batman in here, because that track obviously sounds like the soundtrack to the Batman. Now, that didn't actually happen. There's no signs of Batman or Gotham at all in that sequence, which is kind of unfortunate. But there's enough here to at least speculate. Wow, I wonder if Gunn was setting this up to potentially make that happen. Now, it reminds me a little of when, back in the day for the MCU, Kevin Feige was trying to get Oscorp Tower into the skyline of the Avengers movie, and then they were going to have the Avengers Tower in the skyline for the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Real talk. They were trying to work this out. And instead of it being like a hard canon connection, it was maybe more of like just a little tease, a little nod, you know what I mean? A little wink behind the camera, okay? So maybe that's what this is, where Gunn's just like, hey, I want it to feel connected. You know, maybe this is a fun little thing. Or potentially he was setting something up, hoping that Matt would be like, yes, do it. And then it didn't happen. That has happened a lot in Marvel's history as well. So, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things. I would love to know what you guys think. Like, do you think that this was done intentionally? Do you think this was Gunn being like, hey, man, I got a track. I got Gotham in the news. It connects to the movie. Like, hey, Matt, like, what do you think? Hey, Matt, what do you think? You know? And then Matt basically said no. And then they're like, okay, well, we got to use this track. We got to put this in the background, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not really sure. But there's a lot of signs here, and there's the whole last couple of years with all the conversation around it, okay? And I think at the end of the day, man, I saw some people on Twitter, like, I forget who it was. There was another really popular Twitter account, and she was talking about her dad, and right after this movie, her dad was like, okay, so when's he going to team up with Pattinson and all that sort of stuff? And her response was like, oh, they're actually in different universes, this, that, second, and third. And she said her dad just glazed over and was like, what the fuck? And that's what it is, chat. That's what it is. Like, a lot of us over here are like, I actually can't perfectly picture Matt Reeves' more gritty street-level Batman in the fantastical universe that James Gunn has just established. I would actually prefer if they're branch realities, separate universes, elseworlds, if you will. And I gotta tell you guys, there's a whole bunch of normal-ass people that are like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not gonna work. Like, I remember years ago, after watching Rogue One with my family during Christmas time, my mom, dead ass, we get out of dinner, my mom's like, but where was Ray? Guys, they're damn sure not watching these streams. They're damn sure not watching channels like The Den of Nerds. They don't know what the fuck's going on here. Okay? So I would say Gunn's instinct on this is correct. 2 years ago, he wanted these two universes merged. I think he still wants it. I still think it's the move. I personally think it is worth some of the messiness for fans like us, where we're going to be like, yeah, but I don't know. Like, look at how advanced Lex is. Wayne Enterprise doesn't seem to be doing shit, you know? Gunn's better off pissing all of us off and having us make videos and you know, get butthurt or whatever. And then having people like my mom or that chick's dad be like, yes, Batman and Superman together. I understand it. Like, that is a better outcome, right? So I still think that's the move. However, here's the reality, man. Like, here's the reality. I don't think Gunn can actually force this. Maybe if Superman was already at 500, like if it was at 500 today, maybe. Like, legitimately, maybe they could force it. Like, they could be like, hey, Zaslav, hey, Matt Reeves, hey, Robert, like, hello, like, look at this box office, motherfucker, like, don't you want to come chill? Maybe they could force it that way. These numbers, to me, do not, like, if I were Matt Reeves and I did not want this, I don't think the box office and the success of Superman is going to make me want to be a part of it. Maybe I'm wrong, man, because here's the reality. Like, Gunn has been out there talking about this week. He's speaking as though Brave and the Bold is still happening. He is speaking as though Brave and the Bold is getting its script worked on right now. He talks about Matt Reeves' Batman, but when he talks about DC, he's like, Peacemaker Season 2, Lantern, Supergirl, and then, you know, we got Wonder Woman. We're working on it right now, which he finally admitted, which it just shows that, like, I think Gunn is really playing ball with Zazie. I really think they're trying to do this thing. They're satisfied with what's going on. They're going to try to work together here. And credit to both of them, right? Gunn right now is speaking as though there is a DCU Batman, a more fantastical Batman that is on the horizon. So even though I hate it, to me, the best option is bring Pattinson in, okay? But let's say that's impossible. Let's say Matt Reeves is just like, I'm not going to do that. Okay? If the best option is off the table, the second best option is to let Matt Reeves do his thing. You get one more movie. You're going to get your part 2, Matt, and then we cannot wait any longer. You're not going to get a trilogy. Matt, do your thing. Give us part 2. We love the script. The DCU will try to support your Batman while building Wonder Woman and Supergirl and some other stuff, Lanterns. And then once the Batman Part 2 has had its day, we're going to get the DCU Batman. And it's the second best option to me. I don't love it. But it could work. It actually could work. Because it kind of seems like fans might be willing, like, maybe it's easier to explain that the one Batman is not in this universe than it is to explain why there are two Batman to the normies, right? So I say that's the second best option, and even though I don't like it, potentially that could be the way that it all works. But I don't know. You know, I think the Easter eggs are interesting. I think the conversation around it's interesting. What Gunn is saying right now is pretty wild. Should we watch this interview here? Apparently, this has a lot of info of Gunn talking about the future. You know what's cool about Seth Meyers is he's actually like a huge comic book nerd. I remember he would bring like Brian Michael Bendis and some of these other like rock star people on. He's always been trying to support the comic book scene, so pretty cool.
I saw it last night.
God damn it. I actually really like that answer. And Seth's just going to go move right past it. The Batman 2 coming out so long after the first, they should scrap it and put it in the world's finest, build up the relationship. I mean, I understand. Dude, weird detail, and only because, like, you know, I'm, like, on the spectrum or whatever. But, like, whoever does the makeup for Seth's show, they need to hire him to do Gunn's stuff. Damn, James, you looking good here, brother. Whoever did your makeup here, man, that's fuck. You need to hire that person. Because whoever's been handling you, who has a more punchable face, me or Gunn? Yeah, it's pretty close, huh? I'm still thinking Matt will be involved in Clayface will bring about Pattinson's Batman. It's possible, man. He is producing that. The story goes that was originally going to be connected to Matt's stuff. Now it's connected to the DCU, but Matt's company is still producing it. That is interesting. I'm not sure. I know it's TikTok, ADD generations, and all that shit. You got like, what is this? We're 7 minutes into a 10-minute video. 3 minutes. I didn't say shit. Hey, Stormy, are you in here? Are you in here? Look at this. Why'd we even do it? Look, on this post, Stormy says he reveals a lot here. No, he fucking doesn't. Now I'm with chat. I can't believe we watched that shit. Stormy! Oh my fucking God. Now I gotta cut all that out of the clip. Jesus Christ. I should just put it. Stormy! Oh man. Okay. Anyway. About to get the Mortal Kombat trailer here in a bit, so we can let's linger a little bit on the DCU stuff. What do you guys think, man? Wonder Woman being fast track? Batman? 10 minutes of wasted life? Yeah, maybe. Maybe him saying Reeves was doing Batman and him doing Superman? Yeah, where was that even in there? Did I miss that? I'm going to clip that 10-minute and title it Josh Glazes over Gunn. Jesus. I agree. Using Pattinson seemed like the best choice moving forward with the new logo today. What does that mean? He gets the bat suit in part 2. Thoughts? Oh, that's actually a good question. Or that's something cool to bring up. Let me show you guys this. This is actually kind of cool. So there's a bunch of social media out there on the internet. I don't know if you guys knew about this social media stuff. But check this out. So for all of the social media accounts for Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Harley Quinn, they've all been rebranded. So that's your Batman thing there, and that is not Matt Reeves, John, right? This is the Wonder Woman logo, which, by the way, they are fast-tracking Wonder Woman. That's kind of crazy. Interesting. Green Lantern, matching up with the Lantern in Superman. And Harley Quinn. Kind of interesting. So this would sort of imply to me that Gunn is doing his own thing with Batman. You know? Why is Harley? I mean, I think Harley's just a popular character, man. You know? I think they're just looking at it from that perspective. She's a popular character. Do we have Flash? So Jay Garrick Flash is in the murals. I actually have a big video. I got like a 22-minute video that's breaking down like everything from Superman, the entire timeline, a bunch of clues, and part of that video goes over the murals. I don't know if you guys saw this, but when you go into the Hall of Justice, there's a bunch of murals that have older heroes from like 30 years ago, the maybe even back to the Silver or Golden Age. Yeah. Yeah. I need Michael Rosenbaum, Wally West, Flash, please. What? That's a wild pick. You missed the first 20 minutes? Oh, wow. Okay. Would say this is even means it ain't happening with the shit now in the Batman. Yeah, for sure. It kind of seems like, I guess you could say they left the door open, but eventually they're going to have to shut it. Like, that's kind of my take of the stuff in Superman. Like, it feels like they left the door open. They were trying as they were making it. Seems like Matt's kind of resistant to it. So I don't know if it'll happen. Who do we want to see as the new Batman? I mean, there's all sorts of picks, man. I'm pretty bad with the casting, especially for people of David's age. How old is David? Like what, 30 or something like that? The younger actors I don't really know that crop of actors really well. But I would get somebody that played across David really well, you know? Really good. An unknown actor. Ooh. Mouth feels like ecstasy. Oh, you had a cleaning. I was like, what the hell? That makes more sense. Alan Ritchson as Batman? I don't know about that. I mean, I would like it, but he's so big, man. He's so big. Other than the highway sign, what other Batman Easter eggs are there? There's the track, there's the news report, and then there's the sign. Absolute Batman? Yeah, but like they can't jump ahead to Absolute Batman, you know? And we should have, let me see if I can pull this up here. What would the Mortal Kombat trailer, Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, it's literally going to drop in like 3 minutes here. Oh, there is a countdown for it. 23,000 people watching the Wait, is this the trailer? Get over here. This looks kind of fucking dope, dude. What is this? Oh my god. Was that the trailer? Did I miss it? Yo.
Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers? Just incredibly handsome.
Dude. Only in theaters October 20. So was that it? We have to scroll back?
Fighters.
Nope. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. Let's pause this. I want to watch this shit. Mortal Kombat trailer. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat trailer. Let's check it out. Oh my god, it's red band. That means it's violent.
Uno mas, thanks.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
They should do a reboot.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the 90s.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen to fight.
Tell me you're not some crazy fans.
Oh,
how are you doing that?
Raiden.
Are you coming or what?
Let's go.
Where the hell am I?
It's called Mortal Kombat.
Whoa.
It's a fighting
I
tournament.
like it.
To the death.
Oh no!
Fuck that.
Is that Goro?
This is a war for the fate of your world.
You dickheads in or what? I'm not some champion. I don't have transformer arms.
Nice.
Or shoot lightning bolts. This shit's got nothing to do with me. I'm an actor.
I find you annoying.
Not the face.
Whoa.
It's time.
Scorpion's
Become
back.
the hero you were meant to be.
All right, you big ugly fuck. It's showtime.
Oh shit, dude. Let's go. That looks cool.
Get over here!
Oh shit.
Only the strong survive.
Yeah.
Finish him!
Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers? Just incredibly handsome.
Let's go. I think that looks cool, man. Lot of fun characters. They're finally doing the tournament. Hell yeah. I wonder if there's anything else here. Are they going to talk about it a little bit more or just let it play out? October 24th. They probably just letting it play out, huh? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was cool, man. So the first Mortal Kombat movie, I believe it released like either 2020 or 2021. It was cool. It was good. But a lot of people complained about it because it didn't actually have the tournament. It didn't have as many of the characters as you would expect. And a little bit like Superman, like we're talking about, like it was building and they're dialing it up. Oh, it did go straight to Max too, didn't it? Yeah. It was 3 years ago. Interesting. So yeah, this one looking to amp it up. You've got the actual tournament. Scorpion returns. You get Johnny Cage. You know, you got Kato in there. You've got Raiden. Was that Goro? And then Xiao Lao, right? Like some of these characters I'm blanking on. But it looks really fun, dude. I think it looks cool. That was Baraka. Okay, and Shao Kahn. Gotcha. The rumors on who they've been casting for this have been awesome. And they're doing like a Street Fighter movie too, and they're going crazy for Street Fighter. Dude, what if someday we had like a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter like crossover? That could be absolutely insane. So yeah, I think this looks really fun, man. I enjoyed the first one. I'll go check this one out in theaters. And at a time when Hollywood is thinking about other franchises and trying to figure out, you know, the next thing, a lot of video game stuff is being developed. Mortal Kombat actually had a history of being developed back in like the 80s, and unlike the Mario movie, they actually did a lot better. People actually liked them. It was successful fairly enough to make another one. So Mortal Kombat been popular enough to get the Hollywood treatment years and years and years ago. So we'll see if it can, with this sequel here, kind of regain a little bit more footing in the zeitgeist. You could see this go in a lot of different directions. There's still probably a lot of flavor they could keep for themselves. So we'll see. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I do like me them old Mortal Kombat movies. I like the Mortal Kombat games, man. Man, I even like that one where it was like a beat 'em up, almost a side scroller thing with the two brothers, Shaolong Knights or something like that. That game was actually really fun. So yeah, there you go. That's Mortal Kombat, guys. What are your thoughts? New Tron trailer, really? Okay, we can watch that next. Any thoughts? Shao Kahn, Shaolin monks, is that what it was called? Tron 3, yeah. We'll do some Tron. MK1 was trash, but 8 to 9 through 12 was pretty peak. Yeah, I think I liked 10 a good bit, if I remember correctly. Cole Young character needs to go. I don't know what that's about. Looks like a good time. Yeah. It's dope. Can't wait. Dude, I'm super freaking stoked for Tron Ares. Gonna find some fun chocolates and go see it. Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Zelda sucks. What are you talking about? Zelda's awesome. MK2 is good. Dude, I like those movies from back in the day. Are you talking about the games? One of my favorite Mortal Kombats was Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate. It had like all the characters, man. That one was cool. They should do a Soul Calibur movie. Ooh. That could be kind of fun, yeah. Suffering Through Sub-Zero mythology game. Yeah. Oh, Cole Young was the original character they introduced in the last film. Okay, yeah, I don't really remember that. Zelda is S tier. I think Zelda is great, man. And I'm really excited about the casting and everything they did over there. Like the TVA shirt, though? Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. No other comments, questions about Mortal Kombat? You guys aren't all excited about Mortal Kombat? It's not going to be the next big thing? Talk about the F4 news. What? What the hell? Mortal Kombat trailer just happened. I love the games. Got to see them in character. It looks lit, but let's move on. What the fuck? That's the most den of nerd thing I've ever heard. That's such a nerd venture thing. Yeah, it looks dope. Let's move on. Okay, fair. Let's move on. Can we move on to Warhammer? Does that sound good if we move on to Warhammer? Okay, what should we do? Tron 3? Looks lit. Move on. Yeah, it looks pretty lit. Move it along. I don't see the Tron thing, guys. I think you guys are high. I see something for 3 months ago. Where's the trailer? Anybody find Stormy yet, man? What are we looking for? Tron? Oh, 12 minutes ago. All right, let's give this a shot. Let's see what we think about this shit, huh? Tron Legacy. Is it dope? Let's find out. New trailer.
Man has gazed at the stars and he has wondered, am I alone? So much talk of AI and big tech today. Virtual worlds, what are they going to look like? When will we get there? Well, folks, we're not going there. They are coming here. I would like you to meet Ares, the ultimate soldier. He's biblically strong, lightning fast, supremely intelligent. And if he is struck down on the battlefield, I will simply make you another.
You think you're in control of this? You're not. What are you?
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
Hang on!
A malfunctioning program who wants to live. Why is that? It's just a feeling. Fascinating.
Know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I see some of you guys are like down and you're liking it and everything. I just don't see anything here that has like the same spirit or the heart of like the older movies, including the last Disney one they did, which was actually like really good. It looks like big on spectacle and it's really crazy. It has a cool high concept, but it's selling you on style and stuff. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, it strikes me as one of those kind of movies that's like super Hollywood. Like, well, you know, all the other Tron movies are them going to the digital world. Well, I had a brilliant idea. What if we had the digital world coming into the real world, and that would explain Jared Leto and why he doesn't blink? Oh, shit. And then, you know what? We're going to need a shot in the trailer with Jeff Bridges connecting it to all the other movies so they know that it's a Tron movie that connects to the Tron movies. It's going to be incredible. Yeah, I just don't know, man. It's not really doing anything for me. Just going to be real. Like, is there something I'm missing? Like, what, do you guys like it? I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. Still gonna sell more than Warhammer? Okay, yeah. Would have never known this was a Tron movie without Jeff Bridges. Agreed, 100%. I like it, but it's just a teaser. Yeah. Play it again.
Since time began, man has gazed at the stars and he has wondered, am I alone? So much talk of AI and big tech today. Virtual worlds, what are they going to look like when we get there?
I mean, it looks cool.
Well, folks, we're not going there. They are coming here. I would like you to meet Ares, the ultimate soldier. He's biblically strong, lightning fast, supremely intelligent. And if he is struck down on the battlefield, I will simply make you another.
You think you're in control of this? You're not. What are you?
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
Hang on!
A malfunctioning program who wants to live. Why is that? It's just a feeling. Fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I might give it a shot. It kind of seems like a streaming pick for me, but you know, the thing that's kind of a bummer here is the last movie is actually incredible. I think the last Tron is like way better than people give it credit for. It was like truly special. This is like, I'm not getting the same vibes. But we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, try it out or whatever. And to be fair, like, look, franchises, they try stuff all the time. The Alien franchise, the Predator franchise, I mean, we went through years and years and years of, like, trying to shot here at this, trying to shot here at this, blah, 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 blah. Predator and Alien are seemingly really finding a stride, you know, since Prey and doing a lot of that stuff. And, you know, with Alien Earth coming out, it seems like they might be able to kind of pull a lot of the loose threads together and move it forward in a cool way. You look at what DC is doing, it's like, yeah, DC is really trying to kind of pull from the chaos and present something new that they're going to build off of. I guess this could be something like that, but I thought the other trailer was better. I thought this one, it just, I don't know. There's just something about it. It's not hitting for me, man. It's not hitting for me. Frankly, I think the Mortal Kombat trailer's better. You know what I mean? Because Mortal Kombat's like, oh, hey, man, you're really going to get Mortal Kombat now? We're going to show you all kinds of dope shit you're going to see in this. And it all feels right. You know? It feels like an extension of what you would want. I don't know about this shit, man. I woke up this morning and had a cat on my back. Ooh, that's tough. That's a tough one. So you're saying Tron needs Denis Villeneuve? Not necessarily Denis, but yeah, something with a little life. You know, breathe some life into it. Have like a vision for it. This feels like a corporate created product to me. I could be wrong. You know, I could absolutely be wrong, but that's just kind of the take. That's the take I have for now. All right, we got Mortal Kombat. Hey, can we talk about Zelda a little bit, man? I think everybody wants to talk about Zelda now. Let me go find this. Let me go fishing here. Zelda. Have any of you played any of these Zelda games? Just curious. We talk about this a good bit here. And I believe a lot of the community has played Zelda, but there are plenty of people in this community that just for whatever reason never really got into the games, never were really Zelda or Nintendo people. Totally get it. Of course, a couple of years ago, Nintendo pops the fuck off with their Mario movie, which it was very successful in the box office, but beyond that, I think it was successful on streaming and digital. I think this movie did serious business for them. My son loves the Mario movie, and he loves like getting Mario stuff now. So this was a very successful endeavor for Hollywood and Nintendo together. And what marked that movie as different was the involvement of Miyamoto, actual Nintendo people coming over and helping to craft these things. So around the time that that movie came out, we heard that they were doing a live-action Legend of Zelda movie. Now, there were some good things, there were some bad things. So apparently the movie had been in quiet development for years. Miyamoto had been working for years getting this thing ready. Unfortunately, it was something that was being produced by Avi Arad, who has sort of a mixed, checkered history of producing movies, has done a lot of good stuff, also fucked up the Sony Spider-Man stuff over and over again. So a lot of question marks there. Well, they also recently delayed the film, but we know they're really cooking. The reason they delayed the movie is because they want it to be really good. Miyamoto's been working on it for years. They've been producing for years. So, just this week, and I think this actually happened on, what was it, yesterday? It was yesterday. They announced the official casting for Link and for Zelda. Okay, this is a super big deal for a lot of people. So, Bo Baraganson as Zelda. I am really not familiar with her at all. And then Benjamin Evan Answorth as Link. I'm not really familiar with him at all either. Now, there's two main things that you can take away from this. Number one, they went after sort of unknowns, relatively unknowns. I think that's great. You know, we talk a lot about Star Wars and other franchises on this channel. Star Wars itself is now going in a different direction than it used to in the past. It got one of the biggest stars in Hollywood to star in their next movie. That would be Ryan Gosling. But before all of that, the whole idea was get unknowns because you actually want the character to shine through. You don't want the actor, their persona, any of that stuff to affect the way the audience feels about the characters. So this is something that's done when you're trying to strike a particular feel, often with fantasy, and that's what Star Wars did. It seems like that's what they're doing with the Zelda film. Okay, so that's the first thing. The other thing, pretty young, man. Like, pretty young, meaning this is, and by the way, I don't know if you guys realize this, the plan right now is to make this movie a trilogy. So this is supposed to be a trilogy, so they probably got young, unknown actors that they feel work really well in this thing. And whoever just sent that super chat, Try to send them when I'm not in the middle of a segment. I'll try to get back to that one later. If not, you're going to have to remind me. Relatively young, relatively unknown. I think that's great. On top of that, just looking at them, and again, I'm really unfamiliar with these actors, right? But just looking at them, they look right for the role to me. They also give you somewhat of a sense of the aesthetic of the film. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but just seeing Princess Zelda and Link here, I'm getting a little bit of a vibe of what this thing is going to be. And I will also, man, I got a lot of thoughts on this, actually. I think this is better casting than the Harry Potter remake. Okay, we just saw the first look at the new Harry Potter, and I haven't really talked about it a lot because I think it's terrible. Okay, I'm trying not to talk too much about that whole Harry Potter thing because I think it's just terrible. They're making a ton of terrible decisions. The casting here feels literally stronger. And it also feels, I would dare say, this feels similar to the casting of the original Harry Potter. The originals. Like Ron, Hermione, Harry, like getting that feeling. Like that's just something, and maybe I'm projecting or whatever, but just looking at these two actors here, that's kind of a vibe I'm getting where they're building something that they think is going to be good for years and years and years to come. Okay? Now, another part of this is they're filming this thing in New Zealand. Okay? So they're going for, you can start to kind of pull the pieces together here and see what they're cooking. It seems like they're going for a kind of Lord of the Rings vibe. Lord of the Rings famously shoots in New Zealand, where there's just all sorts of like really cool wide open spaces that can really strike a certain tone, a certain vibe, and feel good for high fantasy. That's why they go there and film all of Lord of the Rings there. So it's crazy that they're filming Zelda there. They're probably going to build sets that they will have for the duration of the trilogy. So you're getting like a lot of the Lord of the Rings, the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings, a lot of those vibes. I'm kind of feeling that. Okay. So young, unknown actors, they delayed the whole thing a year. It's a trilogy. They're going to shoot it in New Zealand. All of this stuff feels really good so far. Okay. And if you're a big Zelda fan, you know, there's probably all sorts of concern and questions about how they're going to adapt this. It feels like it's incredibly different from the way they approached Mario, which is appropriate. I mean, Mario is, you know, their sort of flagship character, and Mario works using a lot of game elements. Zelda, I think you'll see some of the game elements come in here, right? Because there's sort of like a wider conversation here about what's the next big thing. Comic book movies kind of feel like they're on the way out a little bit. Video game movies seem to be taking over. Video game shows, live action anime. I want to talk to you guys about live action Bleach in a little bit here too. Hollywood's trying to go after the next thing. And they're trying to capture the spirit of this thing. And it's nice that Hollywood is at least starting to recognize that they need the actual creators. Okay, so I've been talking about this, but like they bring Neil Druckmann in. Now, apparently he fucked it all up, and they're going to take him out of The Last of Us anyway. But that was a hit show when it was a hit show. And I think getting Druckmann was a big part of that. You have Todd Howard come in and help Amazon make the Fallout show. The Fallout show blowing the fuck up. Going to do huge numbers next season. So it is obvious that bringing these actual video game creators into the fold is a big part of it, and they're having success. With all of that in mind, I think Zelda is very well positioned to be a very big hit, potentially bigger than the Mario movie, and also something that I think like non-Nintendo fans could really get down with, okay? It's high fantasy. It's shonen in a certain ways, you know, with the way that it's figured out. It's like an advanced version of a fairy tale. There's a lot of interesting lore, whether it's the Triforce pieces, the other versions of Ganon, the other versions of Link throughout time. Why does this story keep cycling? There's all sorts of fun fan things that the fans are going to want to see, like the Master Sword, like the Ocarina, like maybe the masks from Majora's Mask, the different temples, like the Fire Temple, the Water Temple, the Earth Temple. There are things that the Zelda fans are going to go nuts for. But I think almost all of those things can be adapted in live action in a really good way that other people would like. You know, the Mario movie made a shit ton of money, but the critics kind of hated it, right? I think Zelda has the ability to tap into both groups of people. Zelda has the ability to win some of the critics over. There's enough really interesting stuff there that could be done with certain sensibilities that feel good for the cinephiles, while also tapping into all the video game fans and all the people that just love that game, love that franchise, and love these characters. So I think this is huge, dude. I think this is great casting. By the way, Miyamoto himself dropped this casting, and Miyamoto was fucking thrilled about these picks here. So this has gone through the whole, Nintendo folks, their lenses, their filters. It's gone through all of that. Hollywood's satisfied as well. This could be something special, guys. Like, this could truly be something special. I mean, I know I tend to get, very excited for these things. And sometimes I'll, think of, the best possible version of it, right? And that can set my expectations off a bit here. But I think there's enough here to suggest how seriously they are taking this. The casting, the years of preparation before this, shooting in New Zealand, doing a trilogy. I think there's enough here to start to get really excited and to start to think that this could potentially be the next big thing. And I don't say that to all the projects, you know what I mean? So anyway, what are your thoughts? I hope he just speaks very little. That's a good question. Will he speak? How much will he speak? Because traditionally, Link does not actually speak in the comics at all. I think that he will speak. Maybe he'll just be really reserved. You know? Rebel Moon? Never heard of her. I don't know what that is. Will this be next Lord of the Rings or Willow and D&D? Oh, no! It's a good question. I don't know. Will this be cinema and better than Warhammer? It will be cinema, and it will not be better than Warhammer, you know? It's just, dude, Warhammer too strong. Warhammer too strong, you know what I mean? I could care less about Zelda, but please believe I'll be there opening day to support it. What? All right. All right, buddy. Nah, but I'm excited. My first tattoo was a Zelda one. What do you got? A Triforce? You got the Triforce? What you got? The Triforce on your forehead? That's a bold move. What? It looks like China is rejecting the Fantastic Four too. Yo, what's up with China, man? Are they just over it? Is China just over the MCU or comics in general? God damn, dude. God damn, China. Goddamn, China, you really fucking us up. China mad, huh? Dang. Okay. Well, we'll see how it does in other territories, you know? You know why, sir? I mean, I don't know why, but I get what you guys are saying. I understand. Video game adaptations of the future, what are some that you would want to see? I got to say Red Dead 2. Yeah, I think Red Dead would be a good one. I think that's very popular and held a good place in the zeitgeist for a while. So for me, it's Mass Effect, Halo. You need to get Halo back on track and actually do a proper Halo adaptation. Yeah, I mean, I'd say maybe Gears of War. They're making a Gears of War thing. I think Doug Liman's working on that. So there's a lot of these things are being cooked, right? Metroid would be crazy. Yeah. Metroid could be really cool. So I would say, to me, it's Mass Effect. Like, that's the high priority. And then Halo. Cyberpunk? Well, Cyberpunk is getting another season of that anime. And, dude, that's a really good anime. Like, I like that anime a lot. And I think the next season will be cool, too. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Ah! All right, what was that super chat I missed? Ooh, BioShock. That's a good one, too. BioShock would be cool. All right, what's that super chat I missed? Batman Solution from Capooner. Tune, maybe. Let Reeves do his Batman as the young version of the character, but also have Gunn use him as the older Batman with CGI aging. It's possible, man. It's possible. It's just like, maybe that's too confusing for folks. You know what I mean? I don't know. Street Fighter? Yeah, they're making Street Fighter. The casting on Street Fighter seems pretty incredible, too. Like, it actually seems like they're cooking with that casting. So that could be cool. Elder Scrolls. I mean, maybe. Metal Gear Solid could be fun, yeah. Kingdom Hearts? Maybe. Super Metroid as a movie would be amazing. Yeah, I think Nintendo's probably interested in that. But I think it's right to do Zelda next. I think Zelda is probably the best one out of the catalog for normies. That's what I think. MK2 looks too Hollywood. Uh-oh. Well, I'm sorry that the movie made by the Warner Brothers studio in Hollywood is too Hollywood, you know. Star Fox one day. Star Fox would be incredible. Star Fox is great. Josh, who would be a good Ganondorf? You know who would be good? Alexander Skarsgård. Guys, Alexander Skarsgård as Ganon or Ganondorf? Come on, man. Woo! Hell yeah. I wonder if they're going to do the little sounds when he opens up the chests. That's how they should start the first trailer. Cold open. Finds the chest. Hey! And then she goes around it. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And then opens the chest. Hell yeah. How many years away are we from Super Smash Bros. Movie? I mean, that could be cool, man. Super Smash could be cool. I think we're years away, though. We're probably years away. Ghost of Tsushima. Interesting. I mean, they're making Helldivers. Sony's making Helldivers. Yeah, man. Like, they're really going for it with these video games. Who would I cast as Commander Shepard? I mean, you want to make money? Chris Pratt. Hey, you want to make money, though? It's up to you. What do you want to make? You want to make money? Chris Pratt, man. Destiny was going to do a whole thing. Oh, yeah? Ooh, Alden could work. Yeah. You just did the Final Fantasy theme. Nerd card revoked. No, I didn't. You're wrong. The Master Hand is the... Ooh, that could be fun. How much do you think F4 makes worldwide opening? That's a good question. Should we talk a little bit about the Fantastic Four? Talk a little bit about the Fantastic Four here? Y'all want to talk about the Fantastic Four here now? Finally. Oh my gosh. Relax. Netflix just greenlit an Assassin's Creed series. Ubisoft just posted it. No fucking way. Really? I told you guys, man. They're going for this shit, man. Where's this at here? Marvel Comics Ultimate Universe approaches its endgame. Okay, gotcha. Wow. Dude, Paul's doing a bunch of panels over at a Comic-Con. That's cool, man. Good for him. Let's see. Superman beats Black Adam's entire run tonight. What? Oh my God. Superman's kind of crushing. I told y'all. Oh, that's just domestic. Well, yeah, they're going to keep doing that. Okay, what are we looking for here? Ubisoft? Assassin's Creed? Assassin Creed. Netflix has greenlit the live-action Assassin's Creed series. Roberto Pentino and David Weiner will co-showrun? Trying to see here. Who are these guys? Assassin's Creed Emmy nominates Roberto Pentino. Dude, this guy did Son of Anarchy, Westworld. And the other guy did the Halo show. Let's ignore that. Homecoming. I don't know what that is in The Killing. Wow. Damn, dude. They're going for it, man. Video games. Video games, chat. Video games. I don't know what season of Westworld. It's a good question. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Fantastic Four here, guys, okay? So Fantastic Four comes out next week. Obviously, right now, a lot of focus on Superman. That's going to shift into the Fantastic Four next week. And obviously, a lot of people are like, yo, what is the deal here? What's this movie going to make, man? You know, I think that a lot of the conversation was so focused on Superman that we weren't entirely sure. I think I talked to you guys on Monday and gave some predictions, but we have had some numbers come out for it. Now, all we know for sure right now is that domestically it's looking to operate basically at the same level as Superman. It is right now projected to make anywhere between 100 and 125 million. So basically like right at the level of Superman on the high end. On the low end, it's, you know, a good bit away from it. The one thing you could take away from that that's awesome is it's going to do better than Captain America 4. It's going to do better than Thunderbolts. You would expect that, but that's also good. We just got some data that is saying it's doing pretty bad in China, just like Superman did. China not really liking the comic book movie shit anymore, man. Not really down to ride with those, it would seem. So that's kind of unfortunate. Now, right now, Superman itself is struggling big time overseas. You know, Korea doesn't like it. Germany doesn't like it. The UK doesn't even like it. There's a lot of markets around the world where Superman is acting incredibly soft internationally. I would expect that Fantastic Four does a little bit better internationally. The China number is concerning. Maybe you would see it, you know, kind of I got to be honest with you. I think both these movies are going to probably operate the same. Unless Fantastic Four gets a huge kind of push, because, you know, something that happened with Guardians 3 could happen to the Fantastic Four, where it underperforms in week 1 and then overperforms in week 2. So I think Guardians had something like a 30% drop. Like, it was pretty fucking unheard of. Like a really small drop from Guardians 1 into weekend 2 for Guardians. You could see something like that happen with Fantastic Four. As opposed to DC, who really just does not have a lot of really caked in audience that loves that brand. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not there. Marvel still has a bunch of folks that remember Endgame, that remember Deadpool, that remember Guardians 3. There's a lot more potential box office out there with Marvel fans, even to this day. But we've also seen with Captain America and with Thunderbolts that audience is very picky. Like, that audience lies in wait, and they decide if this one is a streaming one or show up to the theater one. That's why you're getting wildly different box offices. I mean, think about the last few movies, right? You've got Thunderbolts, Captain America, both operating low. Then you've got Deadpool and Wolverine operating really, really strong. Then you have the Marvels operating terribly. Guardians 3, really, really strong. and then Quantumania, which is somewhat in between, but really bad, frankly. So it's like bad, really good, bad, really good, bad, bad. And it seems like we're going to get probably good. I think the jury's out on if it's going to be really good. Could Fantastic Four leg out, get a ton of good buzz, and absolutely crush it? Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, that's totally possible. But for now, it's kind of looking like it's going to operate right around the same area as Superman. I think it legs out stronger than Superman. Number one, it's really far away from the dinosaur movie. Superman was not. And it's also going to be more and more away from Superman as the weeks go on. So I think Fantastic Four is going to do just fine. But it doesn't seem like it's actually crushing or blowing up. And there is some kind of, I guess, drama out there about Fantastic Four. Number one, I did want to talk about this. It's like, it's kind of wild. They did cut John Malkovich from this movie, which I know that we were going back and forth on this. I still kind of can't believe this because my understanding was there was something important in the scene that was going to come up later in the movie when they fought against Galactus. So this is a little bit concerning. It's like, damn, man, like that was a big part of it, and they cut it out. That's wild. On top of that, apparently like 20-plus minutes of this film have been cut. Its official runtime is actually less than 2 hours or something like that. It's like 155 minutes with credits, which I think puts it in one of the shorter MCU movies. Let's see if we can verify that. Fantastic Four length. Let's see what they say. Fantastic Four. Okay, so that was a while ago. People thought it was going to be 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's an hour and 55 minutes. That's the official runtime. That is one of the shorter movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think a lot of people thought maybe this one would be a lot longer. Okay, now, here's the thing. Is that like super great news? No, it's not like super great news. Is it damning? Should we panic? Should we take it really badly? No. From what I understand, a lot of people have said this movie is really good. Better than Superman. The buzz on Fantastic Four is better than Superman. I know some of you aren't going to believe it. It's fine, whatever. But the buzz is that this is a very good movie. I think it was probably cut because some of it got a little out there. And even the scene was supposed to be like a flavor of the week villain thing. It's not like he was the main villain of the entire movie. I think they probably just cut right into the Silver Surfer stuff a little bit faster, and they're just going to let that just go. So, interesting. Adjustments made there. You know, take it the way you want to take it. Maybe you're a little concerned. Maybe you're like, oh my God, Marvel's fucking it up again. The word is, it's incredible. The pacing's really, really good, and people are really enjoying it. So, we'll see. But that is a little bit weird. Now, there's a couple of other things I wanted to bring up. First of all, Pedro Pascal's been out there kind of like spoiling some shit. So he had an interview. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he had an interview, and he was asked about Chris Evans being potentially in the movie or potentially being in Doomsday. And Pedro gave this like wild ass kind of answer where he was like, are you speaking English or German? I don't really know. I don't know what you're saying here, and just trying to play it all off, which is really wild. I do kind of wonder, why'd the person even ask that? Like, do they know the rumors or whatever, right? Because that's kind of wild. And from what I understand, yeah, he's literally, Chris Evans, you know, rumors, is actually in both. Pedro probably has already shot scenes with him for Doomsday, and he was probably there when Evans shot scenes for the Fantastic Four film. That's pretty wild. That's pretty crazy in and of itself. And then there's one last little update that I want to share with you about this movie. So Matt Shakman came out, and dude, there's actually some really fun comments out there. Like Shakman was talking about how, you know, they got together, they did like they treated it almost like a play, where they bring the whole cast together. They had all these images and sets built to try to immerse everybody. And this was before they even had a script. And they would like play out some scenes and like really just try to treat it like a play, which was kind of fascinating. But one of the things that Shakman said in that interview was he found it particularly challenging to do the character of Reed Richards, because Reed starts off as a character that's just like a super nerd. And then he gets to the point where he leads the Avengers. Okay. So, of course, because we live in the goddamn internet age, when those comments were made by Shackman, you saw a million different Twitter accounts and a whole bunch of articles saying Pedro Pascal is leading the Avengers in Avengers Doomsday. Like, I saw that shit took over, man. It took over, okay? And I watched all these people get really mad about it. It was so wild because just a couple months ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, we were all worried that Reed wasn't even going to be in charge of the Fantastic Four. You remember? Like, we were like, oh, my God, he better be calling the shots. It better not be a girl boss movie. Sue Storm better not be in charge of the team, et cetera, right? Now, luckily, due to the half hour of footage that's been shown internationally, we know that's not true. Reed is calling the shots, as one would when they have the highest IQ in the entire fucking universe, right? That's the whole point of Reed, so we're glad that that's what's happening, okay? But I thought it was so wild that we went as a fandom from having this discussion where we were like, I don't like that Reed might not lead the Fantastic Four, 2 weeks later, now having a discussion about how we don't like how Reed might lead the Avengers. Okay? So before we get into the discussion about him actually possibly leading these teams in the next 2 films, let me just say that I think Shackman was just trying to make a point about how important Reed Richards becomes to the overall Marvel cinematic universe and also comic book universe. I don't actually think he was referring to anything specifically from the comics. I don't actually think he was speaking about anything specifically from the Marvel movies. However, like, I would not be surprised if Reed Richards is going to tell the leaders of the Avengers what to do, because that's what Reed Richards does. Like, it would be very Reed, especially if his son is actually gone, right? The rumors are that Doom takes little Franklin. Guys, Reed is the type of guy to show up to the Avengers Tower and start pointing out how they can make their air conditioning systems more efficient. Like, he's there. He's going to talk about the tech. Like, he's a super big fucking nerd, okay? On top of that, he is the smartest person in the universe. And if he's motivated, fuck yeah, he's going to get in there and show him what's what. And frankly, who are the leaders of the Avengers? Who are we talking about? We're talking about Sam Wilson. We're talking about Yelena Belova. And we're talking about Bucky. Guys, I got to tell you. I got to tell you. If those are the leaders, every single one of them get in the back seat. The idea of those characters, as we currently know them from the Avengers teams, the idea of those characters saying any goddamn thing to Reed Richards is hilarious. And we don't even know this Reed Richards, but I know for damn sure that those characters need to shut the fuck up, take 2 steps back, and fuck their own face. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not an accomplished leader of heroes. You're also not that smart. So, like, we're at this place where it's like, everybody's like, I don't understand this energy. Like, there's so many people that are like, what do you mean? Yelena should clearly lead the team. Why? What has she done to show? She had a moment with Bob, and thank God she did. But this isn't a great leader. This isn't some great strategist. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Bucky Barnes? No. Sam Wilson? No. I'm sorry. They all should shut the fuck up and listen to Reed. So I'm getting to a point where if I go see this movie and they're not listening to Reed, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed, dude. And it's not like these are iconic Avengers that we really fucking care about. And we're like, oh no, they're stepping on their toes. I don't give a fuck. In fact, I don't care if they all die in the first scene of the movie. Maybe Bucky. Maybe I would be mad about Bucky. But I'm telling you right now, Dr. Doom could grab them by their underwear and throw them in a wood chipper. I wouldn't give a fuck. 0 fucks. So, anyway, to take it a couple of steps back and try to get back to the reporting, I don't think Shackman was saying what everybody thinks he was saying. At the same time, I kind of hope that he was saying what everybody thinks that they were saying. Because how the fuck is this team going to fight against Dr. Doom without Reed Richards? He's the only goddamn benefit that they have. He's the only thing they have. And it's not my fault. I didn't set up a phase 4 or 5 of the Goobly Glob. Okay? You did that. This is who you got. They all suck. They all suck. He's the smartest man in the fucking universe. So yes, they should listen to him. Anyway, got a little heated there. Apologies, but the point remains. That's the thing people are talking about. It's absolutely fucking crazy. The fandom is so fickle and sensitive about this shit. It's so weird, bro. Like, obviously, and also too. Let me tell you this. See what his movie does. If Fantastic Four makes like 200 million more than Captain America: Brave New World and Thunderbolts, then first scene of the movie, Reed should show up and put them all in timeout. Like, clearly we're not really giving a fuck about these characters. It's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I just think it's crazy. So, Fantastic Four, opening next week. A lot of interesting conversations about it. A lot of drama, you know? And we're going to see how it all goes. But the movie seems good. It's a shorter one. People seem hyped on it. They'll have a world premiere on Monday. We'll go over the social media reactions the following day. We'll go over the Rotten Tomato scores and the actual reviews the following day. I'll see it Thursday night. We'll do a spoiler stream Friday. So we're off to the races next week with the Fantastic Four, and we'll see how it all shakes out, man. We'll see how we all like the movie. We'll see how it performs, etc., etc. Chris Listenfeld says, fascinating. Let's move on. Yeah, totally. Shackman did a great job with Monarch on Apple TV. Made me more excited for F4. Yeah, I think Matt Shackman is very talented, and I think he's also really hungry, man. Reminds me a little bit of the Russo brothers thing, where, like, Shackman has done a lot of work in TV. He did work on some Marvel TV as well, but he did a lot of work on TV, and I think he did he do a Star Trek movie? I think he's done a movie as well, but he hasn't had like crazy success in movies. And it just kind of reminds me of like when Feige grabbed up the Russo brothers, who were kind of like the Community guys, but they knew comics, they knew actual filmmaking, and they also knew this was the biggest opportunity of their career. So they went all in on this shit, and it showed. Like, sometimes it's not just the skill set you have, but how personally up do you get for the task? How motivated are you in the moment? Are you going to phone it in, or are you going to treat this thing like it's your last hope and you're going to give it everything you've got? That's kind of what I think of Shackman. Like, I really and truly feel as though we're about to see a very special movie that looks really clean, and I think it's going to breathe some fresh life into the MCU. So those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? Fascinating. Let's move on. Ascending Rumble says, Reed isn't my ideal Avengers leader, but he's a ton better than Anthony Mackie. LOL. Also, Dustin or Max this weekend. Dude, I got to give it to Max, man. I feel like Max needs to get one back. Baby. Plus, Max is hanging around. He's not going to retire. So it would be great to give the win to the guy that's going to keep going. So, yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. Yeah. F4 looks so good. Dude, I think it looks absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be like top 5 comic book movie potential. I am very excited for it. So, yes. The wood chipper was wild as fuck. I mean, yeah, it's a little wild. I was just trying to express myself. You know what I mean? I was just trying to express myself here, Kendall, you know? I'm sorry. Hey, you guys care if I go have another cup of coffee? Can I go put another cup of coffee on? Because we got a lot more to get into, man. Cheeseburger says, how would we feel about Spider-Man leading the Avengers? Not bad. Tony's successor, Doom's likeness to Tony, Peter vs. Doom rumors, seems plausible. Yeah, I mean, I like that, but I don't think Spider-Man wants that. He's going in the direction of friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's going away from the Avengers stuff. He wants to just be Spider-Man. He's going to get dragged into it, but that's not the same thing as, like, Peter's going to see the aliens and be like, I got to go lead the Avengers. Like, that's not what's going to happen. But I do understand what you're saying, yeah. Den of Irish coffee? I mean, no. Man, I don't understand how some people can drink in the afternoon and, like, keep working. Like, I can smoke like a chimney and I'm good to go. But, dude, I take, like, one drink. I have, like, a beer at lunch. I need a nap or something, you know? And then, like, you watch those shows like Mad Men, and they're just, like, crushing scotch all afternoon at their job. Bro, who are these people? Just keep drinking? I guess. The trick is to have lunch 5 at lunch, not 1. I don't know what you're saying, but yep. What a lightweight. Look at that. And then this guy's Den of Lightweights. Holy shit. You guys coordinated? Are you wearing the same outfit? Like drinking 30 cups of coffee is normal? Fair. Fair point. Speaking of which, I need another cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Maybe I should put something on for you guys to watch, you know? Where's that Johnny Storm one where Johnny Cage when he was doing... Wait, whoa, hang on. July 24th at 5, Marvel Cosmic Invasion Deep Dive. Ooh. Okay, that'll be cool. All right, I'll find something for here's what you guys get to look. Just have a discussion about this. I'm gonna go make a coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah. So, what's this pick? This is an artist known as The Weeknd. Had a couple of good bops when he first started out, and now not so much. So, just wanted you guys to kind of speculate on what happened to The Weeknd, you know? And I knew she'd be the best of me, this I know. She told me don't release Wonder Man. She told me don't release that show. Okay. We got a couple other things to talk about. Okay. couple of things to get into today. Spin the wheel. Happy birthday. Thanks, man. Have I read Imperium? Yep. It was great. The whole Imperium was awesome. Hey, yo, guys. Hey, yo. Check this out. Check this shit out. So you can see this here. My tweet says, holy shit, they are doing it, with a shocked face. And what we're talking about here is the Nucci or Ganucci's family restaurant spotted on the set of The Punisher filming in New York City. Okay, if you didn't know this, Punisher series, or actually not a series, it is a special presentation, kind of like a short movie. They are filming it right now in New York City. Okay, now this is a leaked set photo of where they are filming the show, and it's a big freaking deal because of the name Ganucci's Restaurant. Now, we've actually already talked about this a little bit. Maybe some of you recall. We speculated that this was where this was going, and now it's basically been confirmed. So I want to look at, I think I did have an article pulled up here. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't have the article. It's all right. We'll do it live. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about one of the most brutal Punisher stories of all time, written by Garth Ennis. Now, the reason that's important is right now, everybody loves The Boys, right? The Boys is a big deal over for Amazon. Well, the guy that created The Boys comic books was Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis had a history writing stuff with Marvel. I think he even wrote some stuff with DC, although I could be thinking of a different character, or a different writer that did some hard-edged stuff with the Titans and shit. Marv Wolfman, I think I'm thinking of. Regardless, the point is, don't get lost in the sauce. Listen, this was something people saw coming because of the casting of a older female gangster. So this is one of the most brutal fucking Punisher stories of all time, written by Garth Ennis, the guy that created The Boys. Okay? Now, the reason this story is so crazy is because of Ma Ganucci. Okay? Ma Ganucci is a character in comics that's a crime boss for the Ganucci family. Frank Castle literally throws her ass into a cage full of animals, which, by the way, chat, when we talked about this last time, we couldn't agree on what animals it was. Was it lions? Was it tigers? What were the animals? I thought it was lions, but some people told me it was tigers or maybe something else like alligators or some shit. So anyway, the point is, in a zoo, pretty sure it's a zoo, Frank Castle throws Ma Ganucci into a pen full of wild lions, and they rip her limbs off. Okay, literally, they eat her arms, they eat her legs, but somehow, some way, she survives. And then, for the rest of the story, with no arms and legs, she continues to be Ma Ganucci, and she continues to be in charge of this crime family. It was polar bears? Interesting. So the way it goes is at the end of the series, because it's like this big thing with her and Frank or whatever, and he probably should have just killed her because she goes on to do some absolutely brutal shit, as you would imagine. It gets to the point where Frank lights her entire estate on fire, and then obviously she can't get out of there because she doesn't have any arms or legs. It is like pure brutality, absolutely fucking quintessential Frank Castle. And, by the way, John Bernthal wanted to do this. So John Bernthal is co-writing this special with a friend, and he wanted to do this. He wanted to do Garth Ennis, hardcore, super fucked up and violent Punisher. Now, one of the reasons this is so interesting is because we also now know that Frank Castle's Punisher is going to be a big feature of the Spider-Man movie. So the Spider-Man movie, Tom Holland's next outing, Spider-Man 4, they're going to do a lot of Punisher in that film. So this is kind of interesting, right? Because there were reports even in 2021 that Marvel Studios desperately wanted a Punisher Spider-Man team up. It seemed like this was something that the studio recognized would be a good matchup. Maybe it was because of Holland and Bernthal and their actual relationship, because they're friends. They actually helped each other read lines when they were both auditioning for their parts at Marvel, which is kind of interesting, right? So maybe it's connected to that. Maybe just the Parliament thought, hey, these are really interesting characters to put together. It would be nice to do a spin on Spider-Man where he goes in a much more mature direction, and that is best done with a character like Frank Castle, okay? So maybe that's the way they're seeing all of this. But it's also kind of interesting to me because we know that there were major hang-ups from Bernthal on coming to do the Daredevil show and to coming back to Marvel in general, okay? So one of the things we found out during Daredevil Born Again, and really it was like within the first couple of weeks after that show ended, we found out that John Bernthal was not going to come back at all for the show because he disagreed with things that were being written in the scripts, which also too, and I gotta do that thing where we do like a bit within a bit here. We're gonna do a little bit of Inception. ADD side note, I apologize, but I'm also reminded that a year before that news came out, John Bernthal told somebody at a Comic-Con that he wasn't coming back because he disagreed with what Disney was doing. And a whole bunch of people gave this lady a bunch of shit. She was just like a random fangirl, and she shared a story about talking to Bernthal at a Comic-Con, and a bunch of like really toxic positive people like Daniel RPK came out and like gave her a whole bunch of shit, and like she ended up being right, which is like a total another thing. But anyway, the point is this. Bernthal was not going to play ball with what Disney was trying to do. I think part of this was the anti-cop sentiment, which was kind of still in the Daredevil show, but they completely changed it from what it was originally going to be. And then there were those comments that Bernthal made where he was like, I make this show for these people, talking about the blue-collar people, the people that wear the Punisher on their uniform when they go into battle. Bernthal made some wild comments where he was like, I make this show for those people. I make this show with those people. And it was maybe the most public way he could say, this is what I believe in. This is what I really care about. And I'm not going to bend on that. Okay. Now, the reason all of that is so important and interesting is because now we see that they obviously came to terms. John would not be doing this show, this special presentation, this little mini movie. He would not be doing this if he didn't agree that it was what he wanted to do. And he's not going to then turn around and do the commercially viable PG-13 Spider-Man movie without him being on board with what they're going to be able to do with the character. So to me, it's kind of wild because it's almost like I could feel Marvel feeling even more than before that they needed masculine energy and that they needed something that like conservative audiences could sink their teeth into. I know that kind of commentary triggers some of you. It really shouldn't. Like we're just talking business. Like obviously the conservative audience is a thing. They've made their voices known. They've made their impact on the box office known in the past couple of years. So if I'm Marvel Studios, I'm thinking to myself, considering where the universe has been going, we need more masculine energy. We need stuff that conservative audiences can get down with. Bernthal is like uniquely qualified for both of those things. And so I think leaning into Bernthal with this series and then turning around and making him one of the stars of the big fucking Spider-Man movie, I think this is intentional from the studio, recognizing some of the issues they've had and seeing a solution. You know what it really is, guys? I'm going to be honest with you. You know what it is? This is Shane Gillis becoming the spokesperson for Bud Light. This is a company being like, okay, we fucked up a little bit. Who can we get to kind of signal to this group that really doesn't like a lot of shit that we've been doing that we're now going to acquiesce? Bernthal, Punisher, is the perfect character for that. And so just even from a business perspective, I see this going and I'm like, wow, this is really, really crazy. So now you think about Ma Gnucci, you think about this and you're like, wow, they are really going to let him cook, because obviously they're not going to let him do Ma Gnucci type stuff, like Garth Ennis type shit in the movie, like Spider-Man's not going to find a head in his freezer or some shit like that, right? That's not going down. But they gave him the bone, like they threw him a bone where they were like, oh, you could do this shit? And we're going to let you write it, produce it, and it'll be its own thing. But then you got to turn around and play a little ball and do a slightly softer version to be in Spider-Man. I think that's what you're going to see, man. And I'm personally excited for it. If we can get more of this kind of stuff, I think this will truly right the ship for Marvel, because you just want to get out of those culture war conversations. Like, you just want to get away from those. I know there's like 1,000 people on Twitter that think that shit like really, really matters. Ultimately, the vast majority of folks are just fatigued of it. We're fatigued of the conversations. We're fatigued of the little points. Like, we're fatigued of motherfuckers being like, Star Wars has always been political. You know, like, I'm fatigued of all of that shit. We've been having the same goddamn conversation since 2016, just over and over and over again. I would much rather be just talking about the badassery of the characters, the canon, the history, the lore, the fun that could be had with these characters. And so I think this is actually an important first step in potentially getting away from some of those other conversations, which I really think are hurting the fandom. So, I mean, number one, this seems dope, bro. And by the way, we called this shit. We called this shit early. As soon as we saw the casting, we were on it. And it does seem to be true. Confirmed Magnucci in the Punisher special, shooting in New York City right now. And then I also threw some speculation in there about what I think is going on with Bernthal and the Marvel Studios brand. So there you go, chat. What do you think of that? What do you think of all that, man? What do you make of that? What do you think? Why not give him a whole movie? I mean, he's about to star or co-star in a Spider-Man movie. That is fucking massive. Like, let me just tell you a couple of things about Spider-Man, okay? Shang-Chi, after he did his movie, they asked him, what do you want to do next? Team up with Spider-Man. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, they asked him, like, what do you want to do? Spider-Man. The guy that was writing the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, they asked him what he wanted to do? Spider-Man. Brother, they asked the lady that directed the Marvels what she wanted to do? Spider-Man. Guys, he's like Batman. He's the fucking guy. Okay? So it's like a prize fighter. It's like, who do you want to fight? Connor. Want the big check. A solo Punisher movie would literally not do as well as a solo Spider-Man movie. So this is better than a solo Punisher movie. I've never, like, this is going to be an evolution of the character. You know, one of the things that's fun about Frank, and I love Bernthal's version, but, like, we actually have not seen him take on any superpowered people. Not really. Technically, yes, he has some fights with Kingpin, Bullseye, Daredevil a little bit, right? But, bro, Frank in the comics, Frank can take out, like, basically anybody in the comics. He just has to use better artillery, better weapons, and he has to use military strategy, right? Bro, we're about to see Punisher unleashed. We're about to see Punisher fighting against the fucking Hulk. And potentially Spider-Man as well. Bro, Punisher's about to get a facelift. Like, this is crazy. I need to see that version of Frank. I'm excited about the special, and I love the grounded Frank as well. But, I mean, Frank Castle literally becomes like a Frankenstein figure at one point in the comics, right? Dude, Frank's done some wild stuff. So, I'm excited. I'm excited. Hell yeah. I can't imagine him fighting Hulk. Dude, he would fight Hulks probably with, like, drones, explosives, traps. Like, dude. Yeah. Gamma bullets? Maybe. I mean, he could potentially do some stuff like that. Maybe some sonic weaponry. But, like, dude, Frank is like a military guy, dude. Like, he could absolutely figure it out. Yeah, and Smart Hulk, dude, he's going to kick that. He's going to beat that ass. But I do think Hulk's going to become savage. That's going to be more difficult, right? So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. But, yeah. Better not end up being a cameo like Daredevil No Way Home. Yeah, all signs point to it being much larger than that, but we'll see. The same shit as the government uses on Hulk. The military can't even beat Hulk. Yeah, I mean, Hulk's pretty unstoppable. That's like his whole thing. But that's why I think it's exciting to get Punisher in there. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, I think you guys are going to be surprised. Like, I think you're going to be a little surprised. You'd be like, damn, Punisher's got game. You know? Yeah, War Machine Punisher. Dude, if he gets his hands on some Stark tech, which, by the way, who else could work some Stark tech? Peter, right? It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Hulk got to get the W this film. I mean, we'll see. Did I watch Ironheart? I did not. No. The Peter tingle? Yeah, Peter does have a tingle. That's true. That is true. Okay, couple other things we got to get into here, boys and girls. Let's talk about live action Bleach. Actually, yeah, let's talk about live action Bleach, then let's talk about Nick Fury, and then we'll call it, okay? So, we've been having a lot of discussions about what's the next big thing. You know, it kind of seems like comic book movies either have to recalibrate, perhaps they're going to just kind of exist in like the second or third lower tier in the zeitgeist. And it seems like Hollywood is like going for it with these video game things. Like, dude, we just talked about like Ubisoft is doing Assassin's Creed. The Zelda movie just cast. I mean, a lot of comic book or rather video game stuff is being adapted right now. There's a wave happening, okay? But there's also another wave happening, and this would be live action anime. And I think there's a big hang up for folks about live action anime, unlike there is for video game stuff, okay? But they're going to keep trying, okay? And the reason they're going to keep trying is because anime is becoming incredibly popular. We talked about this last week, man. 1 in 3 adult consumers in North America is into anime. Anime viewership has risen 500% on Netflix within the past 5 years. 500%? Anime is kind of quietly become an incredibly big part of people's media consumption. Okay, so it's huge. So Hollywood is not going to be able to ignore how big anime is, and they're not going to stop themselves from trying to adapt it. Now, throughout the history of anime adaptations, they've basically all been shit. Some have had a couple of cool things about them, but by and large, they have mostly been shit. Except for one show. And that would be live action One Piece. Live action One Piece is considered the show that broke the live action anime curse. Okay? This is a show that, unlike any adaptation before it, was able to tap into that fan base, satisfy longtime anime fans, bring in new fans to that space, truly break the curse, and do something that I think most anime fans were fucking with heavy. A lot of normies liked. The studio, Netflix, was very happy with how that performed, okay? Now, One Piece is one of the most published books of all time, something like 40 million plus copies sold over its lifetime. And it is a part of what is known as the Big Three. How many anime manga fans we got out there? How many of y'all know about the Big Three? You ever hear of the Big Three before? So the Big Three is a massive deal. These are the most popular seminal manga / animes that all happen around the same time. They really jettisoned the whole space into the stratosphere, okay? The Big Three is a big fucking deal. The Big Three is Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. That's the big three. Now, some of you are like, what about Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball kind of like popped off before it. It actually laid the groundwork for all of these different big three anime and manga. However, that's what people consider the big three. Bleach, One Piece, Naruto. Okay? All three of those properties, all of the big three, are now in the hands of Hollywood. So Naruto is over at Lionsgate. They apparently brought on Destin Daniel Crichton. He's going to be the director of that film. He probably has to do some Marvel stuff on his contract before he can go make that film. But Lionsgate has Naruto. Well, guess who's got Bleach? Warner Brothers. Okay? And interestingly enough, according to some information out there, they are prepping to create live-action Bleach, and they're taking it very seriously. Let me see if I can find this for you here. So this was broke by Daniel RPK. According to him, Warner Brothers is reportedly looking for a writer and director for Title Kobu-inspired project, a live-action Bleach film. According to a former Viz Media employee on LinkedIn, Warner Brothers has been in talks since 2006 for live-action Bleach. Okay, so this is something they've been kind of working on for a while. By the way, they just relinquished the rights to Akira, which is kind of interesting. They couldn't figure that out, but they've been working on the rights for Bleach for a long, long time. Also, Bleach is so popular that the rights for the new anime, Thousand Year Blood War, were acquired by Disney. It came out on Hulu and Disney Plus, actually, because Disney is also understanding and learning how big anime is, right? So they grabbed up the distribution for that. So here's the point. Bleach is potentially the next big thing that Warner Brothers is going to cook outside of some of these other projects. And I would imagine both Lionsgate and Warner Brothers are really curious to see how the second season of One Piece does. One of the things that's kind of interesting about Netflix is they've been able to succeed at a time when the industry is really in flux, and they're really great at having massive hits in international markets. So Squid Games was their biggest hit ever, 60 plus million views in 24 hours or something like that. It was absolutely insane. But the numbers on One Piece were very strong as well. And if the numbers for season 2 can be very strong, holy shit, I think you might see this thing get fast-tracked, okay? And just the simple fact that all of the big three are in the hands of Hollywood right now and potentially are going to start to get live-action adaptations is really crazy. And I want to say this about Bleach, man. I personally, out of all of the big three, Bleach is my personal favorite. It's the one that I've actually watched all the anime for. Bleach or One Piece is just too much. I could never really get into Naruto, right? So Bleach is my preferred one. And dude, Bleach is fucking dope. It has mythology, it has lore, it has twists and turns, it has an ever-evolving story. The 1,000-Year Blood War arc is a really interesting sort of additional story past the core story of the anime with Aizen and stuff like that. Brilliant characters, really fun visual effects, awesome high concept stuff. I think Bleach could really, really pop, but you absolutely need a really good writer and you need a really good director. And I wonder if they'll try to poach any of the people that used to work on the live action One Piece show. I just wonder what talent would be here. Guys, incredible talent right now is doing some weird stuff. So Alex Garland doing the Elden Ring movie, I'm fascinated to see what that looks like. I'm fascinated. We're in this era, this time where all this new nerdy shit is being developed. And the other thing that's kind of cool is Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is what brought most of us here. It's what most of us kind of grew up on. Obviously, that has influenced society. All of these different franchises are trying to tap in to some of that MCU energy. So can Bleach work as a cinematic universe? Possibly. I mean, it has a lot of the ingredients you would assume would be needed. The other flip side of this, though, is anime fans are fucking terrified. Yes, season 1 of One Piece worked, but the anime fans aren't even willing to accept that season 2 will work. Trust me, they're very skeptic of it. So that's wild. And, you know, whichever one comes first, whether it be Naruto or Bleach, the anime fandom is going to be like watching that shit with their arms folded, crossed, and ready to hate. If they can overcome that, if you can reach through to that community and give them something that they would enjoy, bro, you're off to the races. Anime's already way bigger than Hollywood. So if you can bring those two together, oh my God, could be huge. So just wanted to talk about that because I'm a huge Bleach fan. Oh, dude, I would love this. I would love for Bleach to take off, man. If in the next couple of years, like if I get a thriving Zelda trilogy, if I get a thriving Bleach trilogy or a series, if we get Gears of War popping off, Elden Ring movie, like, dude, we're living in a golden age right now. I know the comic book stuff is on shaky ground, but there's so much hyped up shit coming. I'm excited. It's a great time to be a nerd. So maybe as these projects get a little bit closer, we do some deep dives, we educate the community, we go really nerdy on these things and get excited because I think there's a lot of juice, man. I think there's a lot of stuff we could all enjoy with these different franchises. So there you go. There's the updates on the live action Bleach. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, man? There's already Attack on Titan movie in the works. Andy Muschietti? Oh, well. Yeah. Move on. Next topic. Fuck you! Fuck you, Bubba! It's going to fail? Why so? How so? Why? I think it's going to be the next big thing. Invincible voice actors? Dude, yeah. Invincible? That's crazy. They already are recording season 5. That's good news. That's good news. What's Bleach about? Okay, so it starts off with a kid and he sees Shinigami or like kind of like demon things. I think he actually sees they're called hollows, okay? And there's these things called soul reapers who are like dead spirits from the beyond that can manifest into reality and like fight against these demons, basically. Well, first of all, the main character sees the hollows. He's not supposed to be able to see the hollows. He sees them. Then he's able to fight against them using a Zanpakuto, which is like a sort of like a soul reaper sword or whatever. And essentially, it's like that classic shonen story of like, how is this kid able to see these demons? How is he able to hold this sword? How is he able to fight against these demons? He's alive. And then you find out all this crazy shit, like his mom was actually like a certain kind of spiritual being. His dad was a soul reaper that gives up his immortality. Like, you start to learn all these like crazy things. And it's very anime, right? But yeah, dude, it is dope. It is really cool. Spoilers? I didn't even say it. He's got strong spiritual pressure. That's why. That's actually true. Do I have to watch the Bleach filler? No, you can skip the Bleach filler. We anime fans will destroy the industry if they butcher the big three. I hear you. So far, so good, though, right? I mean, One Piece is good. I like One Piece, the live action. I like it a lot. Thought it was about cleaning houses. No, that's a different anime. Yeah, that's a different one. Yeah. One filler is them at a beach playing volleyball that you can skip. Yeah, you can skip that, but there are some tiggle bitties and stuff too. So it's up to you. Other topics. Oh my God. I hope you do better writing for Unity because that was... Wait, what? What are you talking about? That was a good summary. That was a good summary. Chris Pratt as Ganondorf? Why not? Why the fuck not? I skipped the Bleach filler. Yeah, the Bleach filler, Bleach filler's aight. Okay. I think that's probably going to do it for today's show, but I'll chill for like 10 more minutes, guys. Let's get it to 3 hours. Let's get it to 3 hours. Let's chill. Let's kick it for a little bit. What else is on your mind? What else do you want to talk about? Favorite sushi is a Cali roll? No, but I am pretty basic. I like the shrimp tempura. I am kind of basic with the sushi. How confident are you in your bet now? Fairly confident. I would say 20% chance I lose, 80% chance I win. Talk, what are you hoping for tomorrow for the Warhammer preview show? Oh, shit. To be honest, man, I mean, we're gonna watch it on stream tomorrow. Don't worry, Adam. Didn't you think it was odd that I said we would stream Friday and they're doing a big Warhammer announcement? Anyway, I'm expecting some cool models, maybe some of the Grey Knight stuff, maybe some more Black Templar stuff. I do think it's kind of interesting with the book, the possible Black Library stuff, although it seems like it's Horus Heresy and not the Beckwin series. I'd love some announcement about like what they're doing with Space Marines, like the next Space Marine codex, like that big thing, but we'll see. The obvious choice for Ganon is the guy who plays the Mountain from Game of Thrones. I mean, yeah, but can he act? You know, because yeah, he's a big old dude, but like, can he act? I just don't know. Nick Fury? Okay, I'll tell you the Nick Fury bit real quick on this, because I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's kind of interesting. So the other day, James Macwold, this guy that we're really just not sure if he's legit, he said that they're filming a scene with Nick Fury right now, and it's a scene with Nick Fury and Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. So it's probably a version of the scene where he talks to Tony in the shed in Age of Ultron. Nick Fury's probably going to get him to put aside their differences, become Avengers, and like come together. So, and that's pretty much all it is. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting about it is Alex Perez did corroborate this. It's the first time, to my understanding, that Alex has corroborated anything that James has said. So does that mean that James is legit? I don't know. But there's that. When is the best time to get the Galactus popcorn bucket? Probably today. Yeah, probably today. Gaia? Oh, God, I hope not. Do you think F4 gets Oscar nominations? I don't know. I mean, that's maybe for visual effects. It does look really crispy, so I don't know. Does the bucket have a movable mouth? You know, I think every mouth is movable if you're brave enough. How do you think Demon Slayer movie would do, Josh, knowing it's sold out in Japan in 10 minutes? Demon Slayer is super hot right now. That Hansel, man, so hot right now. Yeah, I think it could work. You know what I want to see? Like, I know we're doing all the we're doing all the video game things, and that's cool. There's legitimately stuff I'm pumped for. The anime stuff is interesting. Hopefully it goes well. But you know what I want to see, guys? The fucking gargoyles. The gargoyle show, dude. Are you kidding me? Gargoyles from back in the day, dude. Give that a live action version. Make the gargoyles like fucking sick. You know what I always thought was when in Batman Beyond, the first one. Remember when the Scarecrow gets hit with his own shit and then he looks at Batman and he looks kind of like a demon? When I saw that, I was like, dude, gargoyles. Make the gargoyles look like that. Holy shit. And then you have Xanatos. I think it's his name, right? Xanatos. He's like a Lex Luthor Iron Man kind of guy. Dude, come on. You could have some fun with the gargoyles. Josh, have you seen the pre-sales in F4 China are worse than Superman? Yeah, I did see that, actually. I think they'll probably end up shaking out to be probably the same in China, but certainly that's not what you want to hear. You know? You want it to be, like, better. China, it would appear, is kind of like, hey, yo, fuck you, Hollywood. Hey, yo, fuck you, Hollywood. Yo, you guys want to watch this newly released trailer for Alien Earth? Can we watch this, man? Because, like, I'm actually excited for this show.
If I'm not human, what am I?
So one of the things they're doing is they're putting human consciousness into one of the androids. That's what she's talking about there.
Was it blue skies from Earth? Did you see a green world from your
This ship collected specimens. 5 new life forms from distant planets. Monsters.
Yeah, so the ship was collecting all of these like really dangerous specimens. It crashes. A bunch of them get out. Now it's different kind of animals. You've seen in some of the other trailers, like there's this one that's like an eyeball with like an octopus. It gets inside people's brains. It replaces their eye and it like takes over their brain. One of them seems to be like a xenomorph, but it's like the runner variant of the xenomorph. So like they run around on all fours.
We don't lock them down.
Yeah, that goat is the eyeball one that I was talking about there. That eyeball, that's actually an alien. And you see how it has things on its head? So they've been experimenting. They're trying to figure out, like, what's the deal with this alien?
It will be too late.
There's the xenomorph. Oh, shit. Yeah, they're introducing new aliens. Now, technically, the prequels with David introduced new aliens as well. He creates the perfect xenomorph in the second one, but there were a bunch of other aliens he tried to make before that. Ooh, what was that last little cut there? That a little glitchy glitch. What was that? Interesting. Yeah, I really like Noah Hawley, man. You can kind of see in this scene that the xenomorph's like killing a bunch of people in the background. He is probably, well, he's sweating, but he's probably inorganic if he's just chilling there, or maybe it's like a recording or something. But it looks like Marines getting slaughtered. Love the look of these guys getting ready to do some kind of missions here. Now, one of the other reasons I'm kind of excited, you can see a bunch of the eggs here, you see? One of the reasons I'm really excited for this is we're actually going to explore what Earth is like in the alien universe. And we know that like everything is controlled by like mega corporations. Wayland Tech or Wayland Corp is one of them. They have a competitor that's in some of the other series, and I forget exactly. But in the modern era, like at the time that Ridley's ship is doing its thing in the first movie, Earth has been kind of divvied up into like 5 different territories that corporations all control. At least it's what I understand. So I'm really interested to see how they crack the lore open with this one. Jesse says, David is the best alien character. This trailer kind of meh, to be honest. I think their gestation trailer from the show is better. We'll watch. Yeah, the other trailer was a bit better. This is going to be lit, though. I'm so excited for this shit. We've been catching up on the alien movies, my wife and I. Gotta watch Prey soon, man. Yeah, I'm really excited. This is going to be cool, dude. Hell yeah. So that'll be fun. That comes out August 12th, I believe. So about a month. Hang on. You okay, puppy? Hang on. Yes. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, huh? Expanse alien version? Yeah, maybe something like that. They're really building the lore. And I love Noah Hawley, so I think Hawley's a great pick to do this show. You want to come say hi? Come here. Come here. Sit up. Come here. She just wants to go out. Okay, everybody. Hey, man. Appreciate you guys. Alien Earth Universe is Blade Runner. At least Ridley Scott has said they exist in the same universe. Hopefully this keeps that connection. Yes, I have heard that before, although I think they're separated by a good bit of time. But yeah, I have heard that before. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, everybody, much love, man. I appreciate you guys. Another big old stream today. A lot of topics. Hope you had a good time. Check out the clips later. Cooking some big videos as well. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We will be back at it tomorrow, man. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a dedicated Warhammer stream. Would you guys like me to do a whole dedicated stream where I try to like finally explain what is it that I see in Warhammer? What is it that you guys are not seeing? We could spend hours tomorrow just going through it all. I can try to break it all down and be like, guys, this is why Warhammer is going to win. This is why it's so cool. Oh my gosh, they just had some new announcements and shit like that. Sounds great. I see all the positivity in chat. Sounds great. We'll get into it tomorrow. All right, as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Another one. Another happy landing. Another beautiful, thick, long, girthy stream. Hell yeah. And maybe I'll never try with my hair again because you guys like it better that way. I don't understand you. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, tomorrow should be cool, man. Got some more to talk about tomorrow. Mostly Warhammer, so look forward to that. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your continued support. We'll be back at it tomorrow. And then next week's a big week, man. Fantastic Four. Woo! Fantastic Four. Woo! It's going to be a big one. Hell yeah. Get excited. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. Hey, do me a favor. Actually, make it 2. Open up your third eye. And wash out your stinky butt hole. See you.